And I just felt like it had been a long week. And, with these home night games, right, we have let's say, Sunday, and then we are done with them and they go to the hotel and then, Monday morning meetings and then they leave and they go home and they get some rest or whatever it is that they're going to do to prepare themselves for the game. And I just felt like I wanted to remind them that it was important to have an attacking mindset, an aggressive mindset, to continue to find the joy throughout our team with each other, playing, watching each other, feeding off each other, all three units. I think they appreciate it. I think that I've said this after the game. The strength of our wide receiver unit is in the unit. And I know that that's hard for a position, especially that position, but everybody's catching passes, everybody's catching touchdowns. They're trying to block when they don't have the ball. And I understand, and I think and I appreciate that. And so I remind them of that. And it's not going to be just one guy getting 15 or 16 targets every week. I just don't think that that's what this is. And I appreciate their unselfishness, and I think that is just a small microcosm of what I want our football team to look like and feel, and be excited when Kyle catches a touchdown or when Kayshawn catches a touchdown or whoever it may be that gets a big third down conversion for us. So that's all we're trying to do. And Christian Ellis, I think, embodies that. He's a great teammate. His teammates care deeply about him. He cares about this football team. He's got great relationships throughout the building with his coaches and obviously with his teammates. And that's another special group, the linebacker group. And Christian got us going. And again, there's nothing illegal about anything that he did. There's nothing dirty there. It's him playing football, and whether it's covering kicks, and he takes a lot of pride in that unit, and also on defense.
After getting a chance to go back and watch the film, how do you think the left side of the offensive line?
Good. I thought that they were excited about playing, and I think that is probably the thing that pleases me the most, is that they wanted it. Ned Verdarian wanted to go out there and play and compete and block, and Ben, fought and battled. And I know he had a holding call, which, I think was close. I mean, they called it. He's got to stay inside out, but I've seen worse. There was worse yesterday, but that's what they called it. But they were excited about playing, and they were prepared and they were ready to go. So, that's kind of what you have to do at this time of the year, or any time in the National Football League, is be ready to go. No different than Thayer Munford coming in there from Cleveland and helping us, and being ready and going out there and helping us in his opportunities. And we know what happens there. You probably get more opportunities.
Mike, aside from his speed, what allows Marcus to just see things the way he sees them?
Well, I think that's a great thing for him. I think that's a great question for him. What do you see? And I think the easiest way for me is whether he's fitting to run and on defense as a nickel or he's blitzing, as I said, just I guess try to pretend like you have the football in your hand and you got to weave through traffic and you got to make these guys miss. And he thinks he's 6'4", 250 pounds, and so I always tell him on a run, like, you don't have to hit these guards and you don't have to run into them on a run. Like, you can slip and duck and dodge and do whatever. So I think it's a mentality, it's a mindset to be able to do that, to run through the smoke, days of thunder style. And I think he got great effort from the guys blocking for him. We took care of the gunners. Miles got to the second level. Tay did a great job setting up in a location that they talk about, and got it started, and then he did the rest.
Mike, did you know just from watching Marcus's tape that he might be a fit for what you wanted to build here? Or how soon did you know?
We didn't take long in the offseason. Just from the personality, just from the person, the way that he practiced, the embodied, I would say, the identity, and then just knew, he was an elite punt returner. And so, we have to continue to make that a weapon and force teams to punt and be in fourth and long, to where, we have those opportunities to double, the gunners and things like that. It's, 4th and 3, it's hard to double the gunners, and you want to be sound on everything.
Mike, how nice was it to see Jelani break down the huddle post game, but also was he a game captain too?
He was, yep. He Again, these guys have built a bond that I want to try to just help nurture and help grow throughout the team. And Jelani is somebody like that. You see everybody reaching out and caring for each other, not just him. But it was great to see him out there play defense, help us on special teams, and made some plays and contributed to us winning.
Mike, you said that this team has really earned this bye week, as late as it is. What would you want your message, if you can share with us, to the team as they go into the bye week to be?
Well, we're not done. We're not satisfied. I think champions are never satisfied. I think you can appreciate where you are, but at the same time, never be satisfied or complacent. And the fine line between rest and recovery and, just being sedentary. So there's a fine line of what we have to do to be able to come back here, understand that just because you have a bye, that doesn't mean you're guaranteed some victory the next week in this league. Teams are 16-12 coming off a bye this year. So obviously the bye doesn't guarantee anything other than we should get some guys back that we didn't have last night. And we'll see where that goes throughout the week. Give them some time to reconnect with people that they care about. And then also be ready to focus on football and us finishing this thing.
Mike Spillane didn't have the heaviest of loads last night. Was that just a conscious decision near the end of the game to bring a little bit more of a break?
Yeah, I think that just playing everybody and where we are in the season, and Harold was in that category as well. So we got a lot of trust in everybody that's here, and be ready to go, and just try to get everybody ready for this next week.
Jared said something last night about momentum. He said momentum resets every game in the National Football League. Given that, in fact, you guys have won 10 straight. What's the challenge?
Who said that?
Jared.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Keeping the momentum moving forward, even though you guys are going into the bye.
Well, I think you focus, staying consistent has been something that we've tried to do with the message, and, try to enhance the things that we do well and improve the things that we're maybe just okay at, and then still finding ways to eliminate the things that get you beat. And then we'll get back in on Monday and start that momentum for the week. I think confidence is something that potentially can carry. I think you build momentum through the week in the way that you practice and the way that you correct things and see things come together, and we'll do it all again on Monday.
Like you mentioned a couple of times this year about continuing to find joy, protecting your joy during the course of the season. Obviously that's important, but I'm curious if there's anything top of mind you're trying to guard against when you share that message with the team.
I don't know. Just appreciate what we do, where we do it, and who we do it with. I think is important. Winning helps, but let's be honest. Like, this is the National Football League. You're going to have to go through some tough times, and you're going to lose games, whenever that is. That's not our goal. But the goal is to just embrace and enjoy coming to work, provide an environment for these guys to have confidence in what they do, and learn and figure out the game plan and how they can help us win, put them in spots to do it, and then try to glorify those efforts in front of the team and in front of our fans and everything else.
I know you couldn't resist the Monday Night Football, carrying it into December, but November, what did that mean to you, and it might cause my cleats to be able to do that?
Well, first of all, I appreciate what our players do outside this football team and in the community. It's important that they take their platform and their gifts that they've been blessed with and share that with other people. I do know that that's something that's important to a lot of guys on this team. So for them to be able to do that, I think, is a great thing on Monday night, to bring awareness to the things that are important to them. I was able to share in that and bring awareness to men's health, and just not a spring chicken anymore. So we all have to focus on being around for our families and providing for them, and making great decisions to take care of our bodies, take care of our health. And I appreciate Gillette and everybody allowing me to bring awareness to that.
Mike, How important has it been to the success of your offense that Drake is really seemingly willing to throw to anybody? I'm just thinking of the touchdown to Kyle last night. That's a connection that hasn't worked, necessarily 100% of the time this season, but he's still.
Well, they're
willing
never
to
going to be 100%. No connection is going to be 100%.
Like
Don't cut me off, Phil. Nobody's going to be 100%. I've said this to you and to Drake and everybody else. The quarterback's job is to throw to the person that's open in the progression when they're open. Because if you don't do that, then you wait things out and you complain about strip sacks or you complain about getting hurt. And that may be a 5-yard completion and a drop step and a knife for 8 or 9 yards. And if we're lucky, it's a first down. But I think he's done that. And I think that what I talked about with the receivers of just saying, hey, go run my route to win. And I may be on the front side of the route or I may be on the back side. And I think Todd's tried to do a good job, Downing, of explaining to them, hey, you've got some time. You're not the fourth read. Like, he doesn't say they're the fourth read. He says you got some time because you're going to be backside on this and the quarterback's going to progress through. And if nobody's open through the progression, well, then this is where we want you and this is where the quarterback's trying to, find you. And if somebody's open earlier in the progression, then we need to throw them the football so that bad things don't happen. And I just, sometimes when you wait things out for one particular guy, bad things can happen. So to answer your question, it's great to see the trust being built, and that happens through practice. And then when Kyle gets an opportunity or Pop gets an opportunity or hoop down the seam or whoever it may be, that the quarterback has trust in them to throw the football and put it where it's supposed to go.
Coaching wide receivers is not, you sort of referenced it, a lot of guys want the ball.
Well, we want them to want the ball.
What made Todd a good fit for that role?
I think Todd is very knowledgeable. I think he builds great connections with his players. He makes it, there's a lot of trust there. He gives them exactly what they need, what each individual needs. Matt Collins is different than Steph, and Pop's different than Booty, and it's just the personalities of every player on this team. And the vision that I had for it is what it is. And again, we got a long way to go. But I do, having coached quarterbacks, I think that was an interesting transition, is to be able to explain it in the eyes of a quarterback so that the receivers know, hey, this is what the quarterback's being told on this particular play. And if I don't have spacing or I don't have separation or I don't have a stem or whatever the quarterback's looking for, an indicator or whatever it may be, then I'm probably not going to get the ball. So I do feel like that's been a positive way to approach that, coaching that position. Thank you, guys.
All right, that was Mike Vrabel, and this is Patriots Unfiltered. A little bit of a different start with Vrabel going at noon, but here we are on a Tuesday after a Monday night game, a rare kind of quick PU after a game. We don't get to do these.
It's like an extended postgame show.
Yeah, it's like we never left. It's Paul, it's Deuce, it's me. Evan, will he be by later?
Yeah, I think he'll stop through. He's shooting
Said he
some
would
stuff
try.
right now.
He's very busy.
He's very busy.
Very busy.
Well,
He hasn't
we
had
all
a
are
chance
today.
to grind the tape in the way that he wishes he could.
He hasn't been in the
And
lab yet.
He hasn't been in the lab. He can't come in and share his insight with us yet. So hopefully he's doing a film breakdown. But I think I might run to the locker room briefly, just get a vibe check, and I'll come back if you guys are all right together. If that's okay.
Fred and I will be on our best
need to see you.
behavior.
Oh yeah, well
Yeah.
I just
Do you need to go in for morale?
No,
Before the
morale is
bye?
high.
Great job, Fred.
Morale is high.
But sometimes for the bye, you want to make sure that
No.
they stay on the straight and narrow.
Listen.
Right.
They don't want to see me. They just want to get going.
Yeah, they're
So,
going to get a little bit of an extended break here
Yeah, this will be it.
Yeah,
So they'll
this
be
is it.
gone after today.
till
and
Monday.
Get
Yeah.
a little rest, relaxation.
Be safe.
Yeah.
Be smart.
Paul and I saw Jared Wilson this morning walking in maybe off the rehab field. So maybe he's one guy that, I don't know how many you can hope. I mean, Milt Williams, Will Campbell not going to be back,
Yeah, they
after
can't
the
be.
bye.
I would
but-
say Tonga and Wilson are the two guys. And Vrabel, we just heard from Mike, as Fred said. He said that there's a chance to get some guys back. When they get back from the bye, I would say those are the two guys that I would have my eye on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let Landry get maybe his knee gets a little healthier.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So we're coming off a 33-15 win over the Giants. Patriots are 11-2. Now I heard this, and maybe you guys can correct me. When they come back, they'll be playing the Bills.
Yeah.
If they beat the Bills, is that a hat and T-shirt game?
Absolutely.
That clinches the AFC East.
Yeah.
If they beat the Bills.
Correct.
Wow.
They'd
So-
be up 3 with three
three
left
left.
in the tiebreak.
In the tiebreaker. So again, we were marveling at where we are compared to where we were just even hoping to be when the season started. And we're talking about a possibility of clinching the AFC East with 3 games to go.
Yeah. I'm more surprised at that than I am that they're 11-2. And I'm surprised that they're 11-2. I'm not trying to pretend, I saw this come. I didn't. I'm sure, Christian in LA will call and yell at me again like he did last night. But the fact that is a hat and T-shirt game, I did not see coming. I didn't. I think I kind of mocked you, Fred, in the Buffalo game. In full disclosure, I think when we talked about the first Buffalo game, and I said it'd be a blip in the radar. Well, it wasn't a blip in the radar. It was a changing of the guard.
Yeah.
At least for 2025.
We touched on it a little last night. Like, for me, they got to win the division. Like, they got to win the division.
You have to.
It's just that. I don't know how the season's going to end, but to at least come out of this season with an AFC East title, to take that back from Buffalo, I mean, that to me is mind-blowing. But now I feel like I'm savoring this now. I'm savoring 11-2. I'm savoring this win streak and everything that's happened. And then I think over the next week, I'm just going to try to throw it out and be like, okay, let's just look at this team anew. 4 games. Where do they end up in the seed? Do they get the division? And what's the path look like for them? And that, I think, reveling in the success a little bit of just what a surprising season. I mean, it's just, I never would have thought that when we walked out of that Pittsburgh game, they turned the ball over 5 times. Ramondre's coughing it up. Drake looks like he's going to be up and down all year. And they never lost again.
Yeah. The Pittsburgh game was disappointing, but I think you could make an argument that it showed you that they would be, how much better they were. To play that sloppy and still have an opportunity to win, the opener. When I was walking with you, Mike, in the parking lot in the opener, I said, this is another, I was thinking, maybe 6 or 7 wins, but I did not envision this kind of turnaround. They were not good. Think about how bad the Raiders are. The Raiders are a terrible football team. And the Patriots were not really on par with them that day. I mean, it ended up being a touchdown game. The Raiders were the better team for the vast majority of the 60 minutes. They couldn't stop Geno Smith. Drake Maye couldn't really get anything going offensively.
What do you
now,
think?
13 games, 13 weeks later, you're the best team in the AFC.
What do you think the turning point for this season has been so far? Was it the Buffalo game? Was that the game where it turned the okay, we're a good team, or was it another?
I think so.
time?
I think so. I mean, it's just hard to pinpoint a moment because really, I think it's about Drake and about how he's playing. And you saw him have some moments of those first few weeks, and then when you got to Buffalo and you went toe to toe with Josh Allen, and it's, Sunday night game, audience, the whole thing, and to see some of the throws he came, that's where it felt like, man, this seemed like something special could happen here.
That validated it to me. The Buffalo game was the one that stands out. I think for them, Fred, it was that Pittsburgh loss.
Yeah.
I think it showed them,
We can be better.
This is all on us.
Yeah.
This isn't about the other team. It wasn't Pittsburgh wasn't taking the ball away all the time. I mean, they forced a fumble or two, but they were a lot of self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah.
And I think they looked at each other and said, this is on us. If we play the way we can play, we're going to win these games more often than not. They've won 10 in a row.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to go take a quick vibe check. I'll be right back. You boys don't worry. See how the boys are
I
doing.
do worry, Michael, and
All
you
right,
know
don't
I
worry.
do.
I'll be
When you're
back.
not here.
Vibe check.
My song will come. Be ready for the glass break.
All right.
All right.
Okay. All right. So Mike's
Be
off.
afraid to bring me a Pepsi back when you come in.
Mike's traipsing off to the locker room. He's got to see his guys.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
But it is
like
remarkable,
somebody owes him
Freddie.
money.
And I a lot of times, you and I will bicker when you stop me. Well, you didn't see this, and I was like, yeah, you kind of didn't. No one saw it.
No.
Everybody, even the people that thought that they were going to be really good, I don't think they envisioned, 10 in a row, top of the conference. People were like, they might be able to give Buffalo a run for the division, but they're probably going to be a wild card. This is it's all in front of them right now. I agree with Mike. The division, to me, should be a formality.
Yeah.
The number 1 seed is there for the taking. I'm not dismissing Denver. They've played really well, too. They've won 9 in a row.
Yeah.
So there's a lot still to be
Now,
accomplished.
obviously Buffalo has to play this week. Their bye. They've already had their bye. and things can change, but man, that game coming up in 2 weeks, that's going to be a wild one.
Well, you think it should be a blowout because you think Buffalo stinks.
No. I think the window's closing. They're not as good as
Closed. You said it's closed.
Okay.
You said I think you said last night.
Yeah. But they're gonna
foundations are built with
Sure.
some kind of fakakta, construction.
There's replacement
metaphor.
windows versus
Yeah.
the
So,
ones that you just insert.
I don't want to hear you tell me about this is going to be a war.
No,
you
no.
think it's going to be a blowout?
No, I don't. The Bills are going to
no,
come.
No, I don't.
the Bills are going to come in as a desperate team, and they're going to be playing hard, and it's going to be a heavyweight bout.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what they look like. This week against they play the Bengals.
Well, that's the
this
thing.
week.
I
don't know if they got enough left in the tank. I think they've lost. I think they've lost a lot of players. I don't know who's playing this week. I don't know what the status of some of their guys is, but at some point, even the great teams. And I'm not saying that Buffalo's been a great team because I just think they've been a good team.
Yeah, that'll be a hate watch game for me.
At some point, there's like. One of those years. And I think you're seeing that in the AFC. I mentioned this last night. This is why I think expectations are different. And I think you and I agreed on this part. Just like you have a chance to have Mahomes, Allen, Jackson, and Burrow not involved in the playoffs.
Right. When
everybody looked at it as if they were a playoff team. And a lot of people, I'm not just because I didn't think they were a playoff team doesn't mean no one else did. A lot of people thought this was the Patriots were a playoff team because of the schedule. They thought that they could be a wild card. But you thought if they get a wild card, you then have to deal with in some combination of those quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And they might not have to really see any of them.
It's incredible.
Maybe one of them.
Yep.
Maybe Lamar Jackson, in Baltimore hasn't played great really all year.
But
they've been very inconsistent all season.
But they're benefiting from a weak conference right
division,
now.
Yeah.
A weak division, I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're 500 and they're at top of their division.
Right.
Whereas, Buffalo's 8-4 and they're 2 games back.
Right. So it's incredible. Like Mike said, savor it for now, but there's still work to do. And this game coming up with the Bills, like we said, just amazing to think that you win that game and you clinch the AFC East with 3 games to go. Just incredible. But you got to do it. You can't just hope to do it. You got to get it done. And they're going to come in here, the Bills, and they're going to be playing
There's a lot that
tough.
can happen in the next 14 days, but I think right now, if you're asking me, I think that's going to happen.
Wow.
I don't see the Patriots losing at home coming out of the bye.
Oh, my God.
To a banged-up Bills team.
That's
And I know
incredible.
the Patriots are banged up a little bit too, but not like these other teams.
Now, your guy, Stephen A., this morning had his power rankings. Who do you think he had as the number 1 team?
In the whole NFL?
Whole NFL.
Rams.
Nope.
Not really interested then.
The Seahawks.
Yeah.
Who do you think he had number 2?
The Rams.
Nope. The Patriots.
Okay.
And I think that was more like, I'm sorry, for doing what he said
Well,
about Drake May.
The Patriots have been 2 in those rankings.
I'm talking. This is just
year.
Stephen A. Smith's rankings.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know what show is he on?
I have no idea.
No. No.
They all blend together.
I was being ironic.
Oh, okay. I know what you're doing.
I was pretending.
To me, they all blend together. It's because they're all on each other's shows. So who knows?
What do you think
how
of
much?
power rankings?
They're just fun.
Yeah,
just fun.
I agree.
That's all.
I agree. I miss doing them. I used to do them, in the notes. I just because there's no stakes.
Yeah.
It's not a poll. It's not like college where it kind of matters.
It's all recency bias. It's all who's hot at the moment.
Well, that recency bias is so true. Like I was listening this morning on one of my shows when I was driving in, and it's like Matthew Stafford's no longer in the MVP. The Rams are no longer any good. Like the Rams lost to Carolina.
Right.
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 It's like, wait a minute. Like the Patriots lost to the Raiders.
Right. Right.
Like everybody has one of those stink bombs.
Right.
And for some reason, because the Patriots happened so long ago, it like didn't exist.
Yep.
And that's the way I'm listening to it. It's like, geez. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if you watched any of that Rams game. Stafford had gone 6 or 7 weeks without a turnover. All of a sudden, he throws a pick in the end zone that gets deflected. He throws a pick 6 that was down in scoring range again. And then late in the game, they're in field goal range to tie the game, and he gets strip sacked.
Yeah.
3 specific turnovers that took points off the board for them and put points on the board for the Panthers.
Right.
Like, That's the difference in the game. You lose 31-28.
Right.
You know, even the good teams,
It
like
happens.
the Patriots learned against Pittsburgh,
Yep.
even the good teams can't just hand the other team the ball and expect to win.
No. So, to me, that does not knock him down from the MVP race. I think he's still the leader.
Yeah, I don't really
But
care as much.
Maye's nipping at his heels.
Yeah, I think May has been strongly, and I told you I would make an argument for May anyway, just because of how much less he's got to work with than Stafford
Correct.
does. But the Rams, to me, are still the best team. Like, best balance. They had a bad game. They
Yeah.
played a bad game
Yep.
against Carolina.
Yep.
And Carolina, for whatever reason, is one of these Jekyll and Hyde teams that every other week they look really good and then really bad.
Yeah.
They're able to rise their level occasionally, but you know we saw them play here and they look terrible. We see them play against San Francisco last week. They look like they'd never played before.
Yep.
You know, Brock Purdy's throwing them interceptions all over the place, and they couldn't move. They couldn't get anything going. The next week they beat the Rams.
Yep.
Who are as hot as any team in football.
Yep. So it is a week-to-week thing, but the Patriots have been one of those teams that have been consistent 10 games in a row.
Yep.
10 games in a row. I was
Who
doing
does Denver play this week?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was doing the math, and, if the Patriots keep winning all the way, that'll be 17 in a row. And then next year, you need 5 to break their own record of 21 games in a row.
Okay.
So I'm really thinking ahead, Paul.
All right.
All right. 855-PATS-500 is the hotline. Podcast@patriots.com is the email address. We just came off 2 hours of the postgame show, so we said a lot then.
It was late, so I know some of you probably weren't up with us.
Yeah, so we want to get people involved as soon as possible.
As I think this was as impressive a performance as the Patriots have had. This was, the 17-0 in the first quarter, game, set, match. I thought the energy that they played with, the physicality they played with. You mentioned Christian Ellis.
Yeah.
I thought he really stood out. You mentioned him last night on your good list.
Yeah. Yep.
I thought it was as complete a performance as they've had in all three phases.
Yeah, I would say, and Vrabel kind of confirmed it, that he reminded them, you got to bring the energy. A lot of people would have said, well, you can understand, like if the Patriots had come in not 100% energy-wise, you can understand they're a little banged up. You got the bye coming up. They just wanted to get through the game. But instead, Vrabel reminded them to, you're out there playing football, bring the energy. They made, I think, the concerted, commitment to be the hammer, not the nails.
So I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Iron sharpens iron. I'll just throw them all in there for you. But I also thought Vrabel made a really good point that kind of, was overlooked. I think a lot of people are like, I kind of expected them to look at the bye coming up, the 13 weeks. But he made the point that there were guys playing in that game that haven't played.
Right.
And they wanted to play.
Right.
They were looking forward to getting their opportunity, and those guys were a big part of that win last night.
Yep.
Some of those guys,
Yep.
Corey Durden,
Yep.
who's out there a little bit. Ponder, who's out there making plays. Josh Farmer.
Yep.
Vidarian Lowe and Ben Brown, who haven't had a ton of playing time. On the offensive line, Thayer Mumford is out there as the extra tight end. So I think those guys are fresh.
Yep.
So I think they, and Ellis even has been sort of like a part-time player. He's been in and out. Gibbons has taken some of his reps.
He missed a couple games.
Some of these guys that are flying around a little bit, I think we're looking for an opportunity, and they took advantage of it.
Yep. Good stuff. All right. 855-PATS-500. Where do we go? Let's go to D.C., where Herm is on the line. What's up, Herm?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
Quick comment and a question. So, watching yesterday's game, that gave me even more confidence to proclaim that the floor for this team is the AFC Championship. I mean, between Vrabel's coaching and I think Josh McDaniels, in my personal opinion, has a underrated role in this entire thing. Because obviously, with Drake maybe an MVP candidate, I think he has a lot to do with it. So between Vrabel's coaching and Josh McDaniels, but I mean, this kid Drake Maye, he will not fold in a high leverage moment. So between those three components, obviously the defense that is playing steady, that just gives me a lot of confidence that that AFC Championship is the floor.
Okay. All right.
But the question I have for you guys is Marcus Jones, right? So what is it about him that, and it sounds like a simple question, right? But why is he so dangerous in the punt return game? Is it that he just knows how to set up these blocks? Is it just his speed? Is it, I don't know, are the team scared of him so they play kind of timid that he takes advantage of, right? So what is it about him specifically? I mean, this kid is modern day Deion Sanders, right? So, so the question is, what makes
him that good? Yeah, I hear you, Herm. It's a good question. And, I would say, like, it's a good question to ask of any of these great punt returners. Like, what separates the really good punt returners from just, the average punt returners? You mentioned a lot of it. Yes, he's fast. I think the other thing is fearlessness. I think you just got to just be willing to just get up there. And then the third thing I would say is just vision, and just making the right move at the right time. Now, the one he returned last night, the Giants had just terrible, when you play special teams, there's the thing the coaches, stay in your lane. And there were just too many gaps on the field. And when you got a guy with speed and vision and fearlessness, he's going to take advantage of that. And he certainly did. He went untouched, really. I don't think anyone
The only guy he had to make miss was the punter.
Right.
I would say that the things that you said I would agree with, and I would just say he has elite decision-making.
Yeah.
And, there are times that he has really impressive – and I have a crush on Marcus Jones, and I have since the first time I saw him return a punt. I think he's electric in that department. I think he's one of the best I've ever seen, and I'm not exaggerating. But there are some times that he makes plays on fair catches or running up 10 yards and catching one in traffic that are so underrated and do not happen with every. There's a lot of guys around the league that can do it.
Yep.
He's not the only one that does that, but he's elite at understanding when that yardage needs to be saved. You look at it. It was a
football IQ.
It was a 94-yard punt return last night. Some guys would have let it go in the end zone and just taken the touchback.
Yeah.
But he sees the space that he had, and he understands the time and space. I just think it's a combination of his fearlessness and his decision making. And obviously, he has God-given ability, and speed and elusiveness and whatnot. But we've seen it a couple of years ago as an offensive player.
Yeah.
He gets a little screen pass and he's
gone.
making guys miss. He's gone.
And you see that
he's an elite runner with the football.
You see that fearlessness in the run game too.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to take on
Vrabel
a running
talked
back.
about that today too.
And let me tell you, Marcus Jones is not a hair over 5'7".
No, he's smaller than me.
I told these guys, we're on the road. I'm in the elevator, doors open. He walks in. I swear to God, he's right with me, and I'm short. And he was eye to eye with me. But he is, he's as solid as they come. Like Paul said, great athlete, and he's just different than other guys.
Yeah,
he's just different,
and it's been a weapon for them.
Yeah,
that's 3 huge punt returns, 2 touchdowns now, but 3 long punt returns.
So there was an announcement when he had his touchdown. He is the 4th Patriot in franchise history to have 2 returns in the same season. Troy Brown was another one, and I forget the other 3.
Troy Brown did it in 01. I remember that.
Yeah.
Super Bowl year. I think Mike Haynes did it.
Mike Haynes probably did it.
I don't know.
Yep.
Fryer do it.
Yeah,
maybe Fryer.
But hey, still time to get 3.
He's averaging almost 19 yards a punt return. 18.8. That's an incredibly high number.
Yeah. All right. Good question though about Marcus Jones. Let's go to Sean in Vancouver. What's up, Sean? Sean. All right. Sean is gone. How about we'll stay in Canada. We'll go to Tony. Hey, Tony.
Hey, guys. What a great game last night. I'm just calling in to congratulate Mike Vrabel for winning Coach of the Year this year. Seriously, what I'm calling about is Vrabel and I think when we think about where we were this time last year or the year before and where we're at now, it's really hard to believe. And I know a lot of people have said good things about Vrabel and giving him credit, but I don't think he's actually getting enough credit. And when I say Coach of the Year, I sincerely believe he has that locked up. But
I know Ben Johnson's doing a good job,
I don't
too.
think it's locked up, but I mean, I find it hard to believe that he's not getting enough credit. He's generally 1 or 1A with the reasons. It's either Drake Maye or Mike Vrabel getting the credit for
he's
what's
getting
going
a lot
on.
of credit, and he's getting a lot of credit
really
nationally.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, and I'll listen to the show, but one thing Vrabel said in his first introductory press conference, he said the goals were to win the AFC East, to host playoff games, and to compete for championships. And when I heard it, I said, yeah, I believe it, but maybe in 2 or 3 years, if everything goes our way. And now we're 1 game away from winning that AFC East game. So
you got that right.
Super psyched. Thanks for the show, guys.
Yeah, no, thanks, Tony. Thanks for calling. I'll give you one thing that I don't think has gotten as much attention as it should is just how good of an offseason they had. And if that you want to credit Vrabel specifically or Ryan Cowden and Elliott Wolf for their roles in it, but they nailed several free agents. I mean, this is very similar to 21. Like they had, this is even better than 21 because I think there's more guys that have made an impact, whether it's Milton Williams or Carlton Davis or Robert Spillane, Morgan Moses. They have hit on virtually every one of Stephon Diggs, Mac Hollins,
Chason,
Kayla Von Chason, Kyrus Tonga. Like there's not like a miss in the bunch.
Yeah.
And how do you, people might look at it and say, well, geez, they took a 4-win team. That's how you do it.
Yep. Yeah.
That's how you do it. It's not the same guys.
Yeah. No, you nailed it, Paul. Great acquisitions. They brought in not just guys, but the right guys who
Harold
fit
Landry,
in. And then when you couple that with good coaching, which I think we're seeing as well, up and down, the director, the staff directory, they're putting him in positions to succeed. It's just all coming together, folks. It's all coming together. We're talking Bears Patriots Super Bowl, 40 years.
I don't think the Bears have a shot in hell.
Really?
No.
Why?
Because I don't think they're that good.
I don't know. Their record says otherwise. They're the number 1 seed in the NFC.
Yeah, I know.
This is supposed to be the tough NFC. That's so much better than the AFC.
I'm very consistent.
I know.
And that's why they're there, because the other teams are beating the crap out of each other, and they're beating the crap out of the bad teams.
Okay. All right. But I don't know.
They had a very impressive Black Friday win in Philadelphia. That was a big boy win.
Yeah.
Now, I'll be curious to see if they can do that to Green Bay, and they can do that to Detroit.
Sure. We'll see.
I'm skeptical.
But listen, if I'm a Bears fan.
But that doesn't mean that the track isn't, the train's not going in the right direction. Ben Johnson, and I know you said this in Tony's call, like Ben Johnson's going to be in that conversation. I don't know what's going to happen with Indy with Daniel Jones's broken leg, but if they can right the ship, Shane Steichen's going to be in that conversation. And by the way, Sean Payton deserves to be in that conversation too.
Yep.
He's got a second-year quarterback just like Mike Vrabel does.
But when you talk about Ben Johnson, if I'm a Bears fan, I'm as happy with him as Patriots fans are with Vrabel.
No doubt.
I mean,
no doubt. Chicago's going in the right direction. I'm not sure they're worthy of being where they are.
Because Ben Johnson not only is the head coach, but he's really the defensive coordinator. He's calling the plays anyway. And I would say he's been probably instrumental in getting Caleb Williams right.
See, I know this.
I know.
I'm a believer in Caleb Williams' talent. I don't think he's played that great. I think he's been good when he's had to be.
Yes.
Which is a big plus in his column.
Yeah.
He's been clutch. But I think there's still too much sloppiness to his game. I think there's I'm not a big completion percentage guy, but you really need to be over 65%. He's not.
No. But I think
too many games he's in the 50s.
I think he's got the clutch gene.
He definitely has the clutch gene. And they definitely respond to him right now. So he's done something different in year 2 to get his teammates behind him.
Yeah.
I will give that. They're going in the right direction. Chicago, I think, is very promising. But if they were playing at Detroit tomorrow, if they were playing home against Green Bay tomorrow, if they were playing the Rams tomorrow, who would you think would win?
I don't know.
Who do you think? None of us, Fred, we don't know. The game hadn't played.
I think those other teams would probably be favored.
Right. So that's all I'm saying. Whereas I think if the Patriots are playing Denver tomorrow, I think it'd be a toss-up.
Well, if it's in Denver, they might be.
Yeah,
depends.
but I think
Yeah.
it'd be a toss-up. I don't think it would be a toss-up if the Bears are playing the Packers in Lambeau tomorrow.
See, the Packers, they've been inconsistent too. So
They have been, but they're better players. They have better players than the Bears do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen. If I'm a Bears fan, I'm like Paul doesn't know what he's talking about.
The Rams have a 9-3 record too, and whatever the tiebreaker is currently has the Bears ahead of them. I don't even think there's a comparison between those two rosters. I don't think it's close. I think the Rams would be favored by 7 in a game that they're playing against the Bears.
I'm telling you, Paul. Mark it down. Patriots Bears Super Bowl 40 years from the day.
That would be an unbelievable break for the Patriots to play out of that conference. The least talented team out of the 7 playoff teams.
But
I would rather play every.
If they get to the Super Bowl,
Chicago than any of the other ones.
If they get to the Super Bowl, though, they've done something right. They've beaten all those teams. They'll have to have beaten them in the playoffs.
They've had to.
There he is. What's up, Mike?
Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Paul doesn't think the Bears are any good.
I didn't say any good.
You love the Bears.
I don't think
you love Caleb Williams.
I think Caleb Williams is extremely talented.
Yeah.
I do, and I think that just to tell you what I actually said is, I think that they should be tremendously optimistic in Chicago. They're heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
They're much better. I think Caleb Williams is making strides. I think he's been really clutch. Fred said he has the clutch gene. I said absolutely. I agree. Yeah. I just don't think that he's consistent enough, and I don't think the team. I think the defense lives off turnovers. I think the defense is kind of mid, as you guys, you kids like to say.
So thank you for calling me a kid.
They
I
live off
appreciate
of forcing turnovers, which is to me not a way to sustain in the playoffs. All you have to do is have one game where you don't
2010 Patriots.
One game you don't force the turnovers and you go home.
Right.
I don't think they're as good as Philly. I know they just beat Philadelphia. Okay. I don't think they're as good as Philadelphia. I don't think they're as good as the Rams. I don't think they're as good as the Seahawks. I don't think they're as good as the Packers. I don't think they're as good as the Lions.
Have you watched Philly lately?
Yeah,
they're spiraling.
Okay, they lost the game, Fred. Didn't we do this last year?
I'm telling you. Well, maybe they'll turn it around, but I don't look at Philly as.
I'm talking about talent. I'm not talking about how they're actually playing.
I'm talking about how the team is playing.
Sometimes the talent just wins out.
Sometimes
Friday it didn't.
Sometimes
Friday the lesser talented team beat the more talented
and
team.
sometimes regardless of the
Upsets
talent,
happen.
the team just can't get it together.
Upsets happen.
Yeah.
But
All right.
I don't know why you're 8-4 and you just can't get it together. I don't it's not they're not 3-9.
You're not paying attention. All right, Deuce.
Yeah.
What's going on?
So it was lively locker room today. Lively locker room. Seemed like guys were kind of getting ready to leave, but a couple things to report. It's nice to see Will Campbell. I saw Will Campbell in there. I haven't laid eyes on Will Campbell last week since he got hurt. He had a big old knee brace on.
I saw Will Campbell on Friday.
Well, I haven't seen him.
So Deuce is like those old cartoons where the heart comes out. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, Will, he's not dead. But I don't know. I think everybody, a lot of people, I'll speak for myself. When the kid went down, you're just like, oh, such a bummer. And he's always so great in the locker room. Love hearing from him. So it's just good to see him and a reminder that he's not dead. He's still there. His leg is still attached. But he did have a brace on, moving as gingerly as someone would with a leg brace on, but not he's walking and everything. So good sign. I mean, he's just got to continue to get healthy. But we did talk to Caleb Chason, who continues to echo this, this is my favorite team I've been a part of. The locker room and so the reporter asked a follow-up question of, how does that manifest itself? Why? And he's like, I just think we have belief in ourselves, and we also just are really close. If you go to any of the community events, he said, guys are coming out for that, showing up. It's not just on the field. So just good vibes from Caleb Chason. But you just tell all these guys, there's a weight lifted off them for the moment. Robert Spillane was goofing around in the locker room. You don't ever see Robert Spillane goofing around in the locker room. He's always locked in, getting ready for practice. He's joking around with Chase.
Any word on him? Why?
No, but that's exactly what I was thinking, Fred. He seemed no worse for wear. Doesn't seem sick.
Nobody talked to him and asked him?
Nobody asked him. At least when we were in there. Sometimes, yeah.
It's not the best media corps in the business for nothing.
No, it was. It
plays 100% of the snaps in every game.
Yeah,
played half of the snaps, and
it is a little bit of a weird day of guys coming and going, and right as I was walking out, though, I saw Jalen Hawkins going, so I was about to go over, and I wanted to see if I could grab him, but he was in a group of people.
So when you were going 6 or 7 miles an hour there,
I was like, why did you try to kill that guy with your head? So it is good stuff, though. Good vibes in there. Just you could tell this is the bye week, and everybody's excited It's like, I feel like it's one of those things where when the schedule comes out, you're like, oh my God, we don't have a bye till then. But then when you get here, you're like, this is great.
Is that
like
really
an end
a
of the
thing?
season
Like,
bye.
yeah,
Don't you think
bye.
players, they want it early, like middle?
I would think they would
middle-ish?
want it right in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, only like 4 teams can get it right in the middle.
I would
I'd
rather
have it now than like week 5.
I was just, you took the words out of my mouth. I'd rather have it
Yeah.
late than early.
Yeah. That's kind of the point I was trying to make.
Yeah.
Like, when you first see it, you're like, oh my God, it's not till December. But when you get to December, and that's when you really need the rest, I'm sure that you're pretty
Selfishly,
grateful for it.
I like it earlier because you can do something. Like the weather's conducive, I don't think anybody's doing anything,
By the way,
when it's like 20
speaking
degrees.
of doing something, so I came in a little late today
Oh, did you?
because I slept in a little late. But
Good for you.
And you have a long commute.
I was looking at our old friend Big Head's Andy Hart's rant on the social media about how he's paying like $600 for a Christmas, a
Yeah,
real
I saw
Christmas.
that. Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I just went and got a tree for $100
Yeah, $100
down the street.
What's he buying? Was
So
he have a giant?
I don't know. Like, I think they see him coming, and they he's a big landowner,
Well,
and so they
that's-
overcharge him.
It's on afternoon drive money now, and they know they can take advantage of it.
Right.
They got a fish on the hook.
But like, I don't know what he's like. I got
The Griswold
worried.
tree
So
of like, he can't
I
even
told my
unfurl
wife,
it
I'm like,
in his living
I'm gonna go get the tree this morning before they jack up the prices, and I got $100. That's reasonable nowadays.
If you use
Yeah, plus
anything
he's
more
a-
than like $100, if it was $200, I'd be like, no, I don't think we're going.
He's a-
somewhere
You wouldn't have
else.
Christmas-
I think we'd
no
wanna
Christmas at the
we'd go
Dussault
somewhere
house?
else. We
He's a tree
Let's go
snob,
cut a
too.
tree down in
Like-
the woods somewhere. I'm
Well,
sure there's a tree I can
That's what he
find
does.
that's about the
do
size.
you
Get arrested.
Do you just go to a place?
Yeah, I go to
and
a place.
That's already like so it's
They have the-
cut.
yeah,
They put the net on
it's
it.
a
and give it to you.
landscaping place.
Yeah.
Russo's.
Right. So like you're not a tree snob.
No.
I think Andy is like one of those like,
he's, like,
we
checking
go
the-
in the off season and we mark a tree.
Yeah.
We pick it out.
What
we
is he?
cut it down.
He lifts his leg and pees on it. This
Right.
is mine.
Yeah.
Marking it off.
I think he's a bit of a tree snob. I
I
think
need a
that's why
picture.
he's paying $600.
We got to get a
Walking
picture of
around
the
with his
tree.
chainsaw.
This better be some hell of a tree.
You
I need
go
a
real
picture,
tree?
Yeah. We still do. I kind of floated the idea of fake tree just as I'm a Costco guy now. So we went to Costco. They got the fake trees, which aren't inexpensive, but it's such a pain in the
I
ass
looked
every year.
at those online at
Yeah.
Balsam Hill. I guess they had the good one. $700.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Forget
but
it.
you can get them for a lot less than that. But yeah, you can spend a lot of money on a fake tree.
Yeah.
Beth just found a great deal on one, so we got a
Really?
new one.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got a guy? You got a
So
tree?
now
guy?
we got
You a
we
fake
got
tree
2.
guy?
We'll have one for upstairs and one for downstairs.
Oh,
then.
wow. Look at you.
Look at
Yeah.
you guys.
Look
ho,
at
ho,
you.
ho.
Yeah, we'll have one up for decorative purposes upstairs where everybody can see it, and then we'll open the presents downstairs where there's more room to spread out.
Right. Now I wouldn't be against it. I like the smell though of the trees. You know,
See, that's why I hate real trees.
pine.
You don't like the smell?
The mess and the smell.
Oh,
No,
This guy.
I don't like it.
The mess. I like the smell.
I love the
It
smell.
smells. It's all about.
Smells great.
Right. That's the only reason why I wouldn't get a fake tree.
Love the
Wow.
smell.
Can you like light a candle?
He just morphs right into like Jerry Seinfeld. It's like, love the smell.
Who doesn't love the smell?
I love the tree. Yeah, we're gonna have to deal with that soon, though. It's always a,
So what were we talking about before I interrupted?
Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think Chicago was really good. I
Chicago,
think they've
yeah.
gotten a lot better. I don't think that they're worthy of being the number 1 seed. I think the Patriots are more worthy of being the number 1 seed in the AFC than Chicago is in the
I was
NFC.
telling Paul, Stephen A. came out with his personal power rankings
Yeah, yeah,
today.
yeah.
Who do you think he had as number 1?
Kansas City.
No,
No.
not even close.
No, Dallas.
Seattle.
Seattle.
And guess who was number 2?
Rams.
The Patriots.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I saw somebody say.
Not
like,
a bad guess, though, Deuce.
No. What?
The Rams. Not a bad guess.
Where are they? Well, they
lost
they
this
lost
week. I don't know
this
if you
week,
know.
So they're out. No more Matthew Stafford MVP, right?
All right. Back
Stinks.
It stinks.
Anything else, Mike, from the locker room?
No, that's about it. Good media contingent. Did not see Evan. I think he's still working, getting ready
Big
for
board?
his big board thing. So
It's
yeah,
a big day for Evan.
it is.
Yeah.
It is.
All right. 855-PATS-500. Let's get back to it. DJ's in Arizona. What's up, DJ?
DJ.
Hey, Mr.
pump it
DJ.
up.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
What up?
I really do love this channel. I've been tuning in for about 2 weeks now and been tuning in every single day. Y'all talk about the great stuff. Now, I will go over 2 things really fast that Fred mentioned last night. Now, Paul, please don't get mad at me for what I'm about to say.
I make no promises.
I know you don't.
No, I got you. What do you got?
I really do think, now this is just a thought, but I think Hawkins was going for that ball. It was stupid of him, yes, to go straight head forward the way he was going, because when you look at his hands, they look like they were going for that ball. Now, granted, he did make the foul, so it was not a good play in the end, but his mind was in the right place. If he would have gotten that interception, would they have called it a penalty? I don't know. Second thing is, really quick, I think this team has to win it all this year because we have so much going for us. All these quote-unquote good teams of the past, they're playing so bad. They're doing so many small things that normally would allow them to win. That's not allowing that this year. I'm not saying in the future we won't win again, but we can capitalize now because we have so much in our favor, NFC and AFC based.
Yep.
And I hope you have a blessed day.
All right, thanks, DJ. I hear what you're
strongly
saying.
agree with that last part.
Well, I hear what he's saying about there's a huge opportunity in front of the Patriots right now that you want to take advantage of. But this whole fear about, well, if they don't do it this year, then there's no I'm not going there. I don't know what's going to happen next year. Maybe we'll be much better. And yes, the schedule's going to be better, but maybe we'll be much better. I don't know. I'm just worried about this year. I hear too much about if they don't do it this year, they won't be able to do it next year.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say they won't be able to do it whenever, but they're never going to have a better opportunity than this.
Absolutely. Focus on this year. Don't worry about next year.
The good teams are all in trouble.
Yeah.
Except us. We're a good team.
That's not going to happen every year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, as I said to Paul on our TV show, it's been kind of the big four in the AFC quarterbacks, Mahomes, Lamar, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. Is there an opportunity now for Drake Maye to enter that conversation of, I think any one of those quarterbacks you have a lot of respect for. I know the Bengals are down this year, but if the Bengals were in the playoffs and you had to face Joe Burrow, it's not something you'd be like, oh, no problem. I mean, but can Drake get into that conversation this year? And that to me is the thing. Drake Maye, you got Drake Maye next year. I mean,
the thing about the big four in terms of the quarterback, they've all either won it or gone deep in the playoffs, to the AFC Championship game. And Drake hasn't done that yet.
Yeah.
Once he does that, okay.
You look like CJ Stroud.
And I do think Maye has
Jones.
entered that conversation.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I have Stroud.
I
I have Stroud firmly in that conversation.
Yeah.
I have for 2 years now.
Yeah.
After the rookie year he had 3 years ago. And I think that you looked at Houston this way, it looked like a different team. Like suddenly they're moving the ball and scoring points.
I'm telling you,
to go with that defense.
Yeah.
They're a team that you have to reckon with. They're playing good football, both sides of the ball right now.
Yeah, them in Denver. When you just think about potential matchups going, Drake against their defenses. I mean, both those defenses really disrupt.
See, I'm much more concerned about a team with a good offense than I am with the defense. I'm not worried about Drake Maye. I'm really not.
I'm not worried about Josh McDaniels when it comes to Denver's defense. I think he's got enough in his tool belt with Maye and, Hunter, the tight ends. And I think there's enough to deal with Denver.
Yeah.
Now, it's probably going to be in Denver because even if the Patriots have the higher seed,
they'll just make
that's
a good point.
Yeah. So you're going to have to deal with that. But
you have the teams that the quarterbacks terrify you.
Yeah, I
Even
think
if the
we're
teams
equipped
stink right
to beat
now,
a good defense.
Yeah, I mean, CJ Stroud, all due respect, doesn't terrify me yet. But, you have a couple teams with really good defenses. You probably have some other teams that have some quarterbacks. Indianapolis, maybe a run game with Jonathan Taylor that you really have to think about. We'll see what Daniel Jones looks like, but just getting a sense of the different matchups and
I
what they
just
each
feel like
present.
it's offense based, and I know that I'm in the minority on this, and I know people are going to throw different teams at me, and I would just counter back. Like even last year, Philly and Kansas City, both teams brought elite defenses to the Super Bowl. One offense played at an elite level and won the game going away.
Mm-hmm.
And I know everybody talks about just the dominance at the line of scrimmage. And one offense played well, one offense didn't. That's how you win. And I have confidence that Drake Maye is not going to get shut down by a good defense.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe Fred's right. He hasn't done it yet in the playoffs. Maybe I'm putting the cart before the horse. I have a lot of confidence in Drake Maye. I would much rather see a Denver defense or a Houston defense than just a clicking on all cylinders Patrick Mahomes Kansas City offense or a Josh Allen Buffalo offense, operating at extreme high level, and now it's 38-34. I don't want to see that. But I'll take it if Bo Nix is playing and the Patriots only have to get to 24.
Yeah.
I have all the confidence in the world that Drake Maye is going to do that.
Todd's in Garner. What's up, Todd?
Hey, guys. I just want to shoot a nasty rebuttal to the guy up in Edmonton. He's just salty because in the CFL, the Saskatchewan Roughriders, my team where I grew up, won the Grey Cup. And, they call in and complain about everybody from the Gap. That's just what they do. On to the game.
What is the Gap?
I was a little bit nervous because, it's the province that is between Manitoba and Alberta. They call us Gappers.
Oh, there you go.
We fill the gap between the two provinces. That's what we do.
Like it.
Anyway, what I saw was I saw Gonzalez a couple times grab his leg. And I'm just curious, do you guys think that he might still be dealing with some issues there? Because he seems, I don't know, a step slower than normal. Like, he did a great hit, but I just didn't know if
someone mentioned he got up a little slow after one play.
I didn't know.
But I don't know.
I didn't really notice it, but it wouldn't surprise me, Todd, if he would deal the hamstrings. Yeah. That's why people hate those injuries so much, because they're really hard to get rid of.
Yeah.
Especially for skilled guys that rely on their speed.
Thanks, Todd. Let's go to Cole in Iowa. Hey, Cole.
Hey, can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to start off saying thank you guys for, staying up late last night with the post-game show and then turn around and we get a show again today. You guys are doing great work. Hope you can take a little bit of time this next weekend, bye week, and rest yourselves as well, and get ready for the postseason.
That's right. We got to take care of ourselves, too.
Mike and I were thinking about getting away together a little bit. We don't spend enough time together.
PP and the Deuce on vacation.
Yeah. Maybe a podcast.
Vlog.
Vlog.
Just the comment that I had was this team just seems different, and I feel like we've seen it now for quite a few weeks. All the guys are just so tight. They talk about it, how they're close with each other, how this team fights for each other, and it has to be Vrabel. Vrabel's thumbprint on this team is how much he's helped bond these players, and somehow he is a disciplinarian who is also like a big brother to every single player on the team. I think it's absolutely amazing. And I am super thrilled. I know that this team has probably won a few more games than we expected at this point in the season, but I think it's going to continue. And I think they have to have the first round bye for one reason and one reason only, and that's because the DVDs are 3 games to glory, not 4.
That's right. That's right. That's how it works. Thanks, Cole. Appreciate the call. Let's go to Patty in Agawam. What's up, Patty?
What's up, gents? How you doing this morning? I'm sorry, this afternoon.
Good. How are you, Patty? You recovered from last night?
Yeah. Well, I'm not doing any drinking until Christmas Eve because I need to lose a little bit of weight. I'm just a little bit, a little bit weary because I didn't get much sleep because I stayed up and I fell asleep to the postseason show. But just a quick question. Do you think one of the things that Vrabel took away from playing for Bill Belichick is the season starts after Thanksgiving? And do you think that he's related that to the players? Because if he has, I can't wait for the stretch run. Take it off air, guys. Thank you so much for everything.
All coaches kind of say that. Belichick got it from Parcells, and Parcells got it from whoever.
Yeah, going back to Cole's call in Iowa, I couldn't agree more about the credit that goes to Vrabel for bonding this team. I've said this a few times now, and it becomes more and more apparent just how connected they are as a team. Mike came in and he talked about Chase on today in the locker room. Mm-hmm. It's the most fun he's had on a team. It's the most tight. The community service work that they do, they're doing it together. Vrabel mentioned on his press conference today how excited everybody is when someone else makes a play. It's Kyle Williams catching a touchdown last night, and it's the whole receiving corps and the whole team being just as excited as they would be if they were the ones that caught the touchdown.
Yeah.
I don't think all teams are like that.
Yeah.
Fred brought up a point about when we were talking about the NFC thing with Chicago. Philadelphia might be spiraling a little bit. Some of the problems that Philadelphia has is related to that.
Oh, yeah.
They're not as connected as they were certainly in the stretch drive and in the playoffs last year. And it shows. That's when the talent isn't necessarily getting, fulfilling its potential.
Yep.
It's what is just been most interesting to me with Mike Vrabel. We knew him as a player, and I loved him as a player, and he was a hard ass and a jerk to play against, and I loved that about him, that he just had this edge to him. And when he got here, the way he talks about the players off the field, the family members that the players value, and it's just, I mean, I don't want to say surprising because I didn't really judge him, but you just think like, oh, he's kind of a hardcore football player. He's going to come in as a coach and kind of be a little bit more on the Parcells end of the, don't want to cross him, and he's got a sharp tongue. But the side of him that he's shown of caring about his players as people, I think that to me has just been something that right from the get-go when he got here, talking about his parents being teachers and that educator part of him that just comes through. I just, that to me has been completely unexpected. I really like the tough guy that he is, and that.
Well, we didn't see that part of him when he was here. We saw the smart ass, the tough guy, the guy that would get under your skin, always needling and everything like that. But we didn't see, let's face it, the softer side to him. Yeah. The caring about, your brother side of him.
Right.
And, one of the things he said here when he first came is not only get to know each other and you get to know everybody in the building because they're all here to help you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he made that point like on day one. And it's, I don't know, maybe all coaches do it. You don't hear it though.
No. It feels real to me with him. Like it never felt forced. I mean, when he talks about caring about the players, or even when he talks about real football, like when he gets into what he knows, like you could just tell he's very comfortable with it. And I don't find it surprising that football players respect him because he did it as a player and he's a tough guy and he's got a sharp tongue and, he's funny and he can get you laughing. But at the same time, I think everybody acknowledges that he seems to really care about these guys.
Yep. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, more calls and emails. Everything's lit up like a Christmas tree. We'll be back.
$600 Christmas.
Whether you're in the game or betting on the game, you'll need a game plan. DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the New England Patriots, provides you with everything you need to build your personal betting game plan so you can get in on all the action while practicing safe bets. Visit DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming to learn more about all the safe betting tools DraftKings has to offer. Hope is here, 800-327-5050 or gamblinghelplinema.org. Must be 21 plus. Play it smart from the start. GameSenseMA.com. Physically present in Massachusetts. See DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources.
Isn't it time to get exactly what you want? Welcome to Red Hot Deal Days from Verizon, where you get your pick of our best deals. Like My Plan, where you can pick the perks you want and save on every one. For limited time, bring your own phones to a Verizon store and you can get My Plan for our best price ever. Get exactly what you want in your phone plan and only pay for what you need. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today and get My Plan. These deals won't last. It's your Verizon.
With FedEx One Rate, you can ship to your student for a simple, predictable flat rate. Send a box full of home-baked treats that say, "Your father and I miss you." Or send a box full of instant noodles that says, "Your father and I would like you to stop asking us for money." Either way, one rate fits all. FedEx One Rate. 2-day shipping, one flat rate. Starting at $14.50. Visit FedEx.com/OneRate for details. Exclusions apply.
If you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right.
DraftKings is all about responsible gaming. It's more fun when it's for fun. So play responsibly. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction.
Go. Every time.
Hi, Drake.
What's going on?
How are you?
Doing great.
How much did you and the team just kind of feed off the energy? You guys came out with a lot of energy, too. Where did that come from, and what was that like to watch all three faces kind of take it to them from the start?
I think it started with Coach saying no naps. You don't want to come out here and start fast. And we knew this team has been up in a lot of games, and they got good players over there. They have some good talent, and we wanted to try to get on them fast. And Marcus helped us with that. What a return for him, and the kickoff coverage. I think just all phases of the game showed up at different points, and I still think offensively in the second half we got to put some more drives together to put the game out of reach.
Drake, Coach Vrabel just said that you're realizing what you can be and the impact that you make on the offense. What is that to you?
Shoot, just trying to be the face, trying to be the conductor. He calls it the conductor of the offense. Trying to be the face of the offense, trying to want the pressure. You want to the ball in my hands, and I've tried to show that all year and throughout my career. So that's what I kind of feel like, and I know they feed off of me and feed off my energy and feed off of what I say to those guys and what I say means something to them. So just when adversity hits, I got to respond, and then from there I just got to be the same guy. Same guy every day. Don't try to change and just be myself. That's what the guys like the most. So,
I was just going to stay on Coach Vrabel. You hear those MVP chants a lot, whether you hear them or not. They're there. Do you think he's mounting maybe a campaign for Coach of the Year?
Yeah.
He also promised to shave the mustache. Are you happy or sad about that?
Exactly. I thought it looked good. I think it was for a great cause. I think he. I think the awards. I think he'd probably say the same thing. He's worried about each and every week, and that stuff will come. But he's got my vote, and he's got a lot of people's vote. He's got everybody's vote. In this organization, and in that locker room, and I'm sure across the league.
Steve Guthrie, your coach referenced the hit the other quarterback got and playing through the whistle, and he intimated that might have been a subtle reminder to you on certain plays on being careful about being taken down hard. So I guess two quick questions. Did that resonate with you in any fashion? And was there any winking or eye contact from your coach after that play?
No, I think it's something that's been across the league that showed up with quarterbacks near the boundary or near the sideline, just kind of relaxing. And I think I learned last year the Chargers, I had one on that same sideline over there. I got smacked on the sideline. So just be smart and know you almost got to accelerate or get down or do something over there. But I think Jackson he makes some good plays with his feet, so he's tough to handle.
Your coach didn't look at you and give you one of these or anything like that?
Yeah, I don't think you needed it. I don't think you need to. You heard the hit from the sideline, so I think everybody in the stadium knew.
Andrew Callahan on the left.
Hey, Drake. Excuse me. Just as far as tonight, what went as planned and what might have surprised you, if anything?
I think starting fast. Went as planned. That's what we wanted to do. I think we had some play designs that coach had, and we practiced all week that worked. And I think that's the biggest thing is that you knew they had the new coordinator calling it for the first time, so they're going to bring some stuff that we didn't expect. And I think we tried to handle the guys up front. They had a great rush, great players up front. I thought the guys did that all night. The one sack we had was my fault, and I think from there, I think just coach saying no naps. I think we need to do a better job in second half of living that and putting them out of reach and getting them across midfield and putting a drive together to score a touchdown.
Hey, Drake. Backups today at left tackle and left guard. What was the key for you guys on offense to kind of minimize that impact, I guess?
No, I told them I had full faith in them. We got a lot of reps last year of dropping back and, trust those guys. And I think they're great players and they've stepped up. Like I said pregame, I think they've stepped up all year. Anybody's been thrown in the fire and just proud of them for working hard and learning this offense and, staying on the same page and being on the same page all night and doing a great job tonight.
Alan Siegel.
Drake, sort of a two-pronged question. How cognizant were you guys of the bye and wanting to win going into the bye? And secondly, how much of a need is this team in need of this bye for both a physical and mental standpoint?
Yeah, I think wanting to win before the bye. We're trying to want to win every game, and I know it's kind of don't want to leave off on the bye on a bad foot with a home Monday night game. So I think it was important for us to play on Monday night and show up for our fans, and it was a game that we didn't want to take lightly. And I think the guys did that. Proud of those guys for that. And then the bye week's huge. It felt like a long time coming, but we're here and we got some important football after the bye week, so we're looking forward to staying and getting healthy and having guys want to get better, and I'm looking forward to get some guys back and make a push when football starts to count down the road.
Drake, have you ever been on this kind of role in either this sport or any other sport? Hoops, golf, anything?
Golf, I like that one. My brother's this summer I was on a roll a little bit. No, but I think back in high school, we won 13 straight. But really, I think in college, I think we may have won 8 or 9 straight. Yeah, in football. Both in football. But no, this is a different beast. This is the NFL. So, me personally. What do you mean by that?
Your play.
Oh, my play. Oh, with Darren. Sorry, I don't know what you're asking.
You
you kind of backboning 10 straight wins?
Shoot, I wish it was all me. There's a lot of people in this locker room, this organization that play a big role in us winning games. And shoot, just like you showing up every day and making fun of y'all for being in the locker room on a Friday, asking us questions after practice. These guys do the same thing. They show up every day and they want to get better. And I think I was proud of the guys from this team we have, and I love being around them.
To your final question. Yeah, Drake, they scored to make a 2-possession game. So kind of was there any discussion going into your final drive just to ice the game?
Yeah, it was big. It was big in the second half. You knew that they got a good offense and can move the ball. So we had to put a drive together and put one down at the end to kick a field goal. And like I said, we won't be satisfied with that. We got to try to punch it in. And, get the game really out of reach. But our defense has made big stops in the fourth quarter all year long. And just proud of these guys, like I said. And good Lord has treated us right, and we got to keep going. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
And now, great moments in history.
I just don't want to race out to a lead and,
Get
and
your
then
hopes
watch
up.
Brady.
Right.
Touchdown. Fourth quarter, you're up like 14 or so, that touchdown. I'm like, oh, no.
Here it
and that's
comes.
what he's done to so many teams,
Right.
and you understand how maddening it is when you think you got them the whole game, and then all of a sudden it just clicks, and it's like, oh, they just went berserker mode, and you can't stop them.
Deuce cracks me up. I just don't want to have a lead and have them break my heart.
I don't want to go through another 12-4 season.
The
anxiety.
You're going to see me kidnapping them after the game, like bringing them back.
Give my left nut for a 12-4 season.
Fred,
what?
We are on the radio.
That's another great moment from
Holiday shopping just got easier with Cyber Week at Bob's Discount Furniture. Score unbeatable values on chic dining sets and comfy beds right on time for more holiday hosting starting at just $2.99. Plus, Black Friday values are still in play. Snag relaxation-ready sofas and perk pack recliners ready for game day. So stop in or shop online at Bob's Discount Furniture, the official furniture store of the New England Patriots. Did you guys do any Black Friday or Cyber Monday shopping?
No.
No.
No,
I did a
didn't.
little.
You did a little.
Little Christmas shopping for the wife.
I probably should have, but
Yeah.
it's too locked in on the game.
Okay.
Focusing. Thanksgiving and all.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Doorbusters? What about you, Fred?
No, I mean, I certainly didn't go anywhere, but
Yeah.
I did a little online stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple of little things.
Yeah.
I find the deals usually kind of hold up. Like, I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of just for Friday. It seems like you said, like now it's like Cyber Week, and it kind of drags on beyond just one day of deals.
I agree with you.
Well,
I don't feel the same pressure.
I tell you, it's always happened, but it's getting worse than ever, is these stores jacking up the price only to put it on sale at what it should be or a little bit more than what it should be. I won't name the store, but I caught them red-handed.
Oh.
Yeah.
I saw a video of somebody catching them red-handed. Like the TV, there was like a TV with a, and then they had a
that was
sticker
Target.
over it.
I'll say it. That, yeah, they had the stickers
Is that the
over.
same one that you saw?
No. No, this is one I personally saw.
Mm.
So
Scams.
it was a clothing store.
Oh.
So anyway, but I think that's crap.
Scam.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's all generally crap, which sounds like somebody pointed out the coffee thing to me now, like the coffee cups. If you stick your finger under the coffee cup, it goes up a lot farther now. Like you're getting like the chicken breast. You used to get 3 chicken breasts in a pack. Now it's 2. Like I just feel like you're getting less for more now.
Oh, yeah.
When you go to buy little things like that. That's how they're getting you. I mean, I know I saw the numbers from last week where spent more spending, but people are getting less stuff. So it just feels to me like across the board right now that everything you're getting less for more.
Nuts and bolts,
everywhere.
we're getting screwed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Except pizza time. They give you more.
Yeah. All right. Back to the phones. 855-PATS-500 is the hotline. Let's go to Chris with a TIAN. What's up, Christian?
Hey, guys. This is just incredible. I mean, and I think that the biggest thing for me when I look at the team, whether it's free agents or draft picks, almost everybody that they have acquired is contributing and making a play one week or the next week. And I know that you get that year one bump, as Paul always says, from the free agent signings, and that it's really like year 2 or year 3 where a lot of the guys kind of fall off. But in addition to just everybody buying into the program, which they clearly have, it's so much fun to watch this team every week because I'm waiting for like another guy to make a play. Like Kyle Williams has done more with 2 touchdown catches than like all the wide receivers the Patriots have drafted in like the past decade in just 2 plays. And so it's just so exciting. And I think, I wanted to get your thoughts on this. Is this the most team speed that the Patriots have had in a long time? Because it seems like they got a bunch of guys that can fly. And I'll take it off there.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks. Team speed, both sides of the ball.
I do think they have increased their team speed significantly. It kind of reminds me of what they tried to do in that draft class that they just didn't hit on any of them. But they, it was the Tyquan Thornton, Pierre Strong, there are a lot of fast guys in that draft. They just didn't hit on any of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This team is, Christian's right, this team is significantly faster.
Yeah, it shows up to me on defense, just more attacking style. And they just, even if they're not faster, they look faster because they're not doing as much two-gapping and that kind of thing. But just the linebackers on the second level with Spillane and Ellis and, even Gibbons, like those guys, they really rally to the ball. I think that's to me, where I see the most speed difference. But offensively?
I think offensively is a difference. I think the guys, Diggs is so quick.
Yeah.
Kyle Williams obviously is fast. Pop Douglas is so quick. And those guys have been the ones that have been standing out to me, after the catch that, they're making.
Travion.
Yeah, Henderson. That probably should be at the top of the list. I don't know how I left him out. They've increased the team speed, no doubt.
Yeah. It's
good
crazy
observation from Christian.
Just the quick strike downfield. I mean, whether it's Henderson with the big plays that he's had a few times, or as we can't stop talking about Drake's uncanny ability to throw the ball down the field, and just how much that completely changes the dynamic of the offense. It's just not something that you could have really predicted, but it's really offset a lot of their issues, I think, that they've had. And the level of confidence that Drake plays with throwing those deep balls, it's unbelievable. I've never seen anything quite like it.
Yep. Darius from Louisville says he was doing some research and was wondering if we all knew that we've been to a Super Bowl once every decade since the 70s. So according to the universe, we should make a Super Bowl within the next 4 years. Well, we weren't in the 70s. We weren't in the Super Bowl.
No.
80s, 90s, 2000s, and in the 2010s.
And then
right.
Pretty much every other year, about 20 years. But he's right. I've thought about that, and that the Patriots have made some playoff runs in each decade. I mean, it gets kind of overshadowed by the success of 2001 to 2018, 19, but they've made some Super Bowl runs. They were kind of due. I mean, this even getting to this year when Vrabel came here, I was like, this is year 5 of this decade. Is this going to be a lost decade in terms of playoffs? Because even those bad Patriots teams that bottomed out around 1990, 91, they still on the other side of that had some success.
Yep. Here we go. Here we go. Bears Patriots. 40 years.
That'd be crazy.
Let's go to Caesar in Brazil. What's up, Caesar? Caesar in Brazil. All right. Well, obrigado. Eldred's in North Carolina. What's up, Eldred?
I have a feeling I know what
Hey, fellas, how y'all doing?
What's up, Eldred? How are you?
Hey, man, I am shocked.
Yeah?
My floor, my ceiling was 6 wins. And, I mean...
Takes a big man to admit that, Eldred, because everybody's taking victory laps right now.
Oh, yeah. A lot of our callers are taking victory laps.
I can't believe it. Yeah, I guess they are.
Well,
but
maybe
Fred,
one of them.
Paul, y'all cracked me up last night, but I couldn't get on the phone because I had to work this morning. Fred.
Yeah.
You're 100% right. Paul, I got to disagree with you because I used to play defensive back. That shouldn't have been called.
Wow.
Going for the ball, but just like I said, just like somebody tackling and how they try to go down and load the tackle, but the guy slips, starts sliding down, the wide receiver was sliding down. That's how his head bumped him.
Yeah.
Other than that, he was going for the ball.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have been called.
I'm not saying it shouldn't have been called, but I'm just saying that he was going for the ball and he was leaning forward.
Just run in with your palms up and you're absolved of all responsibilities for a headshot.
I didn't say it shouldn't have been called.
I didn't say you said that.
No, Fred, Paul, I said it because, like I said, Paul, the law of gravity. When you're coming down, he's coming down too. That's what he admit.
Yeah.
If he
But the
didn't jump
defensive back was going
at
up.
the time of the jump, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Head first.
Was it? Both of them going down. Okay. He was going up. The guy was coming down.
Right.
If he'd have jumped with him at the same time, that never would have been called.
Yeah.
Okay? Law of gravity.
Okay.
But other than that, that's
Textbook
cool.
sparing,
Hey, I'm
but
going to ride this. I'm going to ride this, and I'm like everybody else. Man, if they look up and go further than what Washington did last year, I got my cigar, and I'm talking trash again. But y'all have a good one. Love talking to you.
All right. Thanks,
Biggie.
Eldred.
I thought for
is this-
sure we were going to get an A.D. Mitchell.
Yeah, he's
reference.
back, baby.
So far, is this more remarkable or the same or less than what the Commanders did last year?
I think it's the same. It's,
Same?
It's exactly what Washington did last year.
Yeah, I mean,
like out of nowhere, like 4-win team, same thing. The only difference is Daniels was a rookie quarterback and Maye is in his second year. I don't know. So if you want to call their, Washington more impressive, I wouldn't. I think they're the same.
yeah. But to me, what defined that season was their run in the playoffs too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
knocking off.
That's why I said up to now.
Yeah.
Because obviously they got deep into the playoffs.
I mean, I think there's something to learn from that too. Of leaned on some free agents, had good injury luck, and you just like what I like, and
Took
you don't have
advantage of a soft schedule.
Yeah, I mean, but you have to know you're going to have to be better next year. But I at least feel really good about the program that Mike Vrabel's put in place, and that they have the pieces here now. You don't have to worry about establishing the culture. You hope that with all the pieces they have, that you're going to be able to carry that back, and you're going to be able to take some talented guys now, hopefully some talented rookies, and welcome them into the fold, and continue to build. But
They built the foundation.
Yeah.
They got the coach
and the
they
quarterback.
got the quarterback.
And the quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, Jaden Daniels has been hurt this year. So that can happen too. But yeah, they got to be ready for next year.
Kyle and Pembroke last night was really fun, especially seeing how upset the Giants tight end kept getting. Was that what was going on there?
I don't know.
Well, he was the one that came over and took exception to the Ellis hit. I didn't really notice him being upset any other
After,
time.
yeah.
No, I didn't either.
Other than at himself for dropping touchdowns,
Yeah.
which I saw that when he punched the ground after he dropped the touchdown that would have made it 17-14.
My guy Theo, not great.
Your
not
guy.
great. My guy.
I was all
My
over
guy.
Mike. I
Yeah.
go, yeah, this is the guy that you said we should be
know.
worried
I
about.
Now that we're at the bye, who is your current Patriots? And he's got a couple of questions. Offensive player of the year who's not Maye.
Shoot. Hunter Henry?
I would go Hunter Henry.
Yeah, probably Henry.
That's a good pick.
And then maybe
He's
Diggs.
really solid. Yeah.
Yeah. Although Booty, like big plays. Who is your defensive player of the year for the Patriots?
I mean, I might have said Milton Williams, honestly.
Yeah.
Before he got hurt.
I would probably stay with Milton Williams. I don't know, maybe Spillane.
Yeah, I was thinking Spillane too. Just, I
Yep,
mean, he kind of
solid.
embodies like really good run defense, every down kind of guy, but.
And then rookie of the year.
Probably Campbell.
Yeah.
I don't really I think that they've gotten contributions from all the rookies. I don't think anyone's really stood out.
Yeah.
I would say Campbell's probably been the best.
I want to know what the coaches staff say. Like, what do they really think of Woodson? Like, how, he's just one of those guys that he don't really acknowledge a lot. He doesn't,
So
but
if
he's
he-
out there a lot.
Is he a
so-
starter or a player who starts?
Yeah.
So, assuming that Campbell misses this stretch, and I would say that if I had to pick a rookie of the year, I'd pick Henderson. Only because they were down to two backs, and for a couple weeks he was the only real viable back they had, and he hasn't blown up the place, but he's been okay. He's held down the fort at the running back position.
I mean, how would you stack
as a
him
rookie?
up? How would you stack him up compared to other rookie running backs you've seen come through here over the last 20 years? I mean, it seems like he's
that's hard because Bill never let the rookies do anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Poor Ramondre Stevenson fumbled in his first game, and we didn't see him until the middle of October.
Yeah.
Ridley.
Right, same thing.
Just, I don't know, it's hard to compare him to any other.
And then a lot
Patriots
of rookies that came in kind of got redshirted
I think
because
Sony Michel
people were
would be
here
one.
before them that were better.
Sony Michel had a pretty decent rookie year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot more opportunities than Henderson had in terms of carries, but I don't know.
But you say, I mean, Travion Henderson, I mean, to the point of that you were making, but James White, James White, great player, didn't really play much his rookie year. Wasn't the
Bill
player
doesn't
that
play.
he was.
Bill
he had
refused to
Vereen
play
ahead of
young
him.
players.
Yeah. Interesting.
He did the same thing to Vereen.
Yeah.
Vereen redshirted too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I would, like I said, assuming Campbell's going to miss these games, I would pick Henderson.
Yeah, I mean, I think all these guys have made contributions. You know, I think any one of them is valid.
Yep.
You know, that's
Yeah, again, I don't know what's going to happen.
What about Borregales?
Going from the 13
He set
games.
the franchise record for a rookie.
Did
for
you find that
points.
crazy? I found that crazy.
For a
and I
rookie.
was like, but you know what?
Yeah.
It was 2006,
No.
and then I was like, you know,
No,
Found it
kickers.
the prototypical
I know.
SID
When-
stat.
when you're on a
really
good
happy for
offense,
you.
your kicker's going to have a lot of points.
I had to do some math because it was like, no, that was 06, and they were kind of bad that year offensively. But then, you know, the next year, I mean, I don't know what the point total was the next year, but I'm sure Gostowski probably led the league in 07 with all the extra points he was kicking. So I just thought it was interesting. It didn't really occur to me that he had been kicking that many field goals, but
Yeah. Mike's in Florida. Hey, Mike.
Good afternoon, fellas. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Hey, Mike.
So I'm going to preface everything I say with the fact that I'm very excited about what Vrabel's been doing and the energy he's created and how he's gotten everybody to buy in.
But
I do have a concern, yeah. But are we getting too excited over a win over a 2-10 team at home? Like, the Giants didn't have Thibodeau. Abdul Carter was sat out the first quarter for God knows what reason. It was a coach's decision, they said. I'm happy, don't get me wrong, but sometimes I feel like we read into these wins over bad teams more than they're really worth. Does that resonate with you guys? Do you kind of agree, disagree? And I'll take it off the air. Thanks, fellas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that's why I feel like for me, and I think I said it last night on the postgame show, for me, it's about the body of work. It's not about, oh, I'm so excited about the win over the Giants. I mean, I do think the energy they came out with last night was really good, and that to me was encouraging that, you know, that they have another gear to get back to. But for me, really, the good vibes right now are just taking time to reflect upon a 10-game win streak and an 11-2 start to the season with, you know, whatever you want to accomplish, it's now within your grasp. You want that number 1 overall seed, it's within your grasp. You want that AFC East division title, it is well within your grasp. So, but I get what he's saying. I mean, you know, it's you'd love to be beating the Chiefs and the Bills, and you'd love to, you know. But
The reason I was impressed with that win last night is because they've played a steady stream of those kinds of teams, and they don't always make those teams look like that.
Yeah.
This was, like, I think I used the word outlier last night. That's what impressed me was, first of all, it's the first game of the year that they completely just took total control of right from the outset of the game. 17-0 in the first quarter. The game's over. You know, the 2-10 team is now forced to come from 3 scores down in the last 3 quarters of the game on the road. Not going to happen. You know, so you very comfortably won a game, yes, against an inferior opponent. He's right. But, like, they played an inferior opponent the previous week, and they had to sweat out the last drive. They played a previous opponent in New Orleans that is terrible, and they had to sweat out the last drive. So these things, you know, they don't always go the way they did last night. And they went that way because the Patriots were ready to go at the start of the game, and they were all 3 phases. They were locked in. That's, to me, that was the big takeaway, more so than, well, why are you puffing your chest about beating the Giants? I'm puffing my chest by the way the Patriots played.
And
I
like
don't care
Vrabel
about the
said,
opponent.
remember the joy about playing and celebrate wins and, like, have fun. This is a game you're playing.
Most of the games this year have been 1-score games.
Yeah.
Last night wasn't.
Yeah, do I remember you guys talking about Teddy Bruschi in 07, talking about the weight of the win
Yes.
streak?
Well, he talked about it
you know?
afterwards for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're avoiding that right now. It doesn't seem like the weight of a win streak is on them.
They avoided it in 07 too.
Yeah.
I mean, Fred's right. That was a topic after
Yeah.
the loss.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you fall
But
short.
I do think that pressure mounts. I don't feel that right now.
I don't either,
feel.
yeah.
I think this is one of those house money kind of deals. Like, no one expected us to be here. Everybody expected the 07 Patriots to be really good. Now, I don't know how many people thought they were going to be undefeated, except for Gil Santos,
right?
Who told us that in the at the Super Bowl that he knew.
I saw them in
he knew
training
in the
camp.
preseason.
I knew.
But everybody knew the Patriots were a really good team that sort of reset and restocked and reloaded, and they were going to be, you know, a Super Bowl contender heading into the 07 season. No one thought that about this team.
Yeah.
Joe writes in, Fred, you were dead wrong on the postgame show. Ellis could have easily nudged Dart out. Didn't end up happening, but why were we tempting a team with nothing to lose and a better pass rush to go after your guy? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if you can play that way. Like, I'm not going to hit them because they might hit my guy.
Oh, right.
I don't know if you can play like that.
No, you can't.
I just was trying to make the point, and again, it was not a penalty, and I kind of think the for as poor as the officiating has been all season in a variety of games, I think they've done a better job of not calling those on the sideline when the quarterback is trying to get extra yards. They've said, yeah, okay, you want to get that 1 or 2 extra yards, you're going to subject yourself to a hit that we used to call a penalty.
Yeah.
They haven't called them a lot this year. Maye took one of those in one of the games this year and didn't get the penalty, and he was in bounds.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sebastian from New Jersey, exit 153 on the Parkway. Last night was, in my opinion, the best game from all 3 phases.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I feel we took the foot off the gas in the second half. I think we could have, maybe should have, put up 40+. I'm still waiting to see a complete 60-minute game. On the injuries to Spillane and Gonzo, I believe they were more boo-boos than injuries. There was a run up the middle where the running back got tackled by another defender, and they both kind of landed at Spillane's feet. Maybe they hit his shins with their helmets. And then on the Giants' first touchdown, the wide receiver broke through, and both Gonzo and Davis were running with him into the end zone. Gonzo slipped feet first when the wide receiver rolled in underneath him. Looks like he landed hard on his posterior.
Yeah.
Get him a coccyx pad.
Gonzalez played every play. So whatever, maybe he was, limping or whatever, but
He was in the locker room.
He was not banged up
today, walking around. Didn't seem.
Yeah. To Mike's point, Spillane only played, a little less than 70% of the plays, 69% of the plays. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and Bradbury was in the locker room today too, which I just found interesting. Pop up day of a game with a illness, and then you are still here. So maybe it wasn't anything major, but I still.
It's the last day. They it's their only day of work.
Yeah. I don't know. It just something that stood out to me, and maybe maybe Spillane was sickness, but maybe it was kind of rotation a little bit. I don't know.
Let's go to Ralph in Haiti. What's up, Ralph?
Hey, my brother, the Haitian sensation is back. Yo, listen, I got a couple of points, because I don't know how much what's the name I got left with this phone and stuff like that. But last night, I want to tell all these Pats fans, stop acting like we are the 2007 Patriots. We are the 2001 Patriots, where every win is a brand new thing for us, and we didn't know if we was gonna make the Super Bowl. So enjoy the wild ride. You understand?
I hear you.
Have fun, enjoy it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You got a defense that's laying the wood, that's making sure they tackle right, they're not missing tackles. Enjoy it. Fred, you was right about that. Paul, stop playing devil's advocate. I get it. You got to blame the other guy, but let my man Alex get some love. Let him get some love.
That's right.
I'm totally with Fred on Ellis. I thought that was a great addition to the good list last night. Right out of the chute when Fred came in. I co-signed strongly on Ellis being on that list. He had an excellent game.
Yeah.
We were arguing about the Jalen Hawkins hit, not Ellis.
Yeah, the Jalen Hopkins hit, I think he was trying to get the interception. I think he was trying to play the tip drill.
I don't know about interception.
I don't really care what he was trying to do. I'm just talking about what he did.
I know, but Paul, people were saying this is such a stupid play.
It kind of was reckless.
No, it was not.
Paul,
I don't want to get into it
I
again.
see where you're coming from, but at the end of the day, don't enjoy it anyways. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Anyways, I got to get off the air but all my teams in red, white, and blue are winning. The Patriots.
You tell him, Ralph.
He just made the World Cup. We on fire.
That's right. You tell him, Ralph, and call again. Paul, you should listen to Ralph. Yeah. Just take some joy in life.
Go down to Haiti.
I just don't understand.
Take some joy.
That doesn't take any of the joy away from anything that happened last night to me. That not every single play was perfect.
You know how they all saying, make lemonade out of lemons? Yeah. Paul makes vinegar out of lemonade.
I
don't know how it works. How does he do that?
I just had the previous caller who's lamenting the second half.
Yeah.
I strongly push back on that. Patriots played an excellent second half. When you have a 30-7 lead at the half, that was an excellent second half. Shorten the game, get out. We have this game won. We don't need to score 40 points. That's you want to talk about taking the joy out of it? That's what the 07 Patriots would have done. They would have been concerned.
I loved it.
They would have been concerned with nonsense that doesn't help you in the long run.
I loved every minute of it.
That team last night was more focused on the here and now. We did what we needed to do tonight. Let's move on to the next one and get ready to do what we need to do in the next one.
I love to hear the lamentations of the women.
Conan, let's go.
Right, Conan. Talwinder. Remember Talwinder from the Bay Area?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't emailed in a while, I don't think. We all we need. He says, I emailed you guys a few weeks ago and predicted we will go 14-3 and get the number 1 seed. I still stand by my prediction. We are going to beat Buffalo, Baltimore, and the Jets. Then we might lose the last game to the Dolphins because number 1 seed will be all locked up. Few other predictions. Chiefs won't make the playoffs. I'm not worried about the Ravens. Buffalo will lose in the playoffs at Denver. We will host Denver for the AFC Championship on January 25th at 3 p.m.
Oh, my Lord.
There you go.
I tell you guys, I always
From
want
your
to go to
lips
an
to
AFC
God's
championship.
ears.
I always want to go to a conference championship. If they got that number 1 seed and they were 1 game away, I would be tense.
Spee and Fresno always seemed the bye was mid-season during the dynasty years. Teams get to voice a preference for where their bye falls, right? I don't think they do. I think it depends on.
Do not.
No, because you're asking
Unless
for.
that's changed.
Yeah. I mean,
Unless
you're
that's
asking
changed.
for other things. Hey, we can't do this weekend because of cons. And then it just, okay, well, now you're going to have your bye here. Because,
There is a possibility, like Belichick used to bitch about it. That's why I say you don't get a chance. But there's a chance that he, let's face it, he's disingenuous for a reason. He maybe was not being is completely forthright with that. But he used to bitch about not being able to control that.
Yeah.
Because remember the year.
Well, then everybody would ask for the perfect placement. You can't do that.
The year that they had one really early, he was particularly salty about.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a week 4 bye or a week 5 bye or
Every
something
early
like
one,
that.
you got a late one. Yeah. You just got to play them like they fall.
We haven't really done anything.
Spee says, I always have some trepidation coming out of the bye, which reminds me, not that I'm keeping receipts, but no one ever called out Paul in 2016 for incorrectly predicting that the Seattle game after the Week 9 bye was going to be a blowout Patriots win. He guaranteed a win. Paul, do you remember the score? Seattle won 31-24. Brady passing yards, 316. Top receiver that game, Marty Bennett with 102. I didn't let you.
I would have called you up, Paul, but I wasn't here.
Now I'm getting ripped for
Do you remember that prediction,
Patriots
Paul?
wins.
Years ago.
Sorry.
Do you remember that?
No. I remember the game.
Yeah.
That was Gronk got hit in the end zone. Kind of. It was like Drago. It was like, oh, the champion's hurt. Like he got.
Was that when Earl
really-
Thomas lit him up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Kansas. I mean, Pete Carroll had a faux pas in that game, where I believe, when they scored a touchdown to go up 31-24, he went for 2 instead of just kicking it to make it an 8-point game. He went for 2 and didn't get it, I think.
He wanted to know what he needed.
And I think Bill looked at it as like, do I have the score wrong? Like, Bill was kind of confused by it, and that allowed the Patriots a chance. And at the end of the game, they got stopped inside the 5 at the end of the game.
Yeah. Did you clock in Vrabel's press conference? It seemed like he knew exactly what the record was for teams this year coming out of the bye.
16-12.
16-12.
Yeah.
Is that a reminder of like, hey,
You're not guaranteed to win coming out of the bye? I don't know. I mean,
it's not a great number. It would have been better if it was 500 or below.
well,
But
I also like all of those. Like, did teams ever face each other? Both of them coming out of the bye?
No, I don't know.
Good question. I don't know.
Like, that's 28, right? That's 28 of the 32. So the other 4 have the bye this week.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
There's a lot of math going on.
Ted has a quick question: butt fumble or turf kick? Oh, the butt fumble was that was ridiculous.
Did you guys ever hear what
He said
Koo's
there-
explanation
Yeah,
was?
there was a problem with the hold. He didn't feel like the timing or something was that. But like Fred makes a good point about the plant leg was really close to the
Yeah.
ball. I don't know if it's because the ball wasn't in the right place, but there was something about the timing of that whole play that looked wrong. And I think it started with the snap and hold.
Mm.
Now, I would have, like, I don't really understand why you wouldn't just kick it and then, let the chips fall where they may. And the other thing that, underrated, doesn't really matter, but underrated, the holder gets the ball and he starts to roll out and then just throw the ball away. You save yourself significant field position. On an incomplete pass, the ball goes back to the line of scrimmage, right? Instead, you're running. So now you're 8 yards back at the snap. You're running like 13 yards back. Like that's a big difference. 13 yards, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just throw it away. Incomplete pass. At least you get the ball, whatever, the 39-yard line or whatever it was. Was it a 49-yard attempt? That probably doesn't even go down as a missed field goal. Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah. Max in Santa Barbara. A couple things. First off, In-N-Out in California only is far superior to any other burger place in the fast food world.
Yes.
Outside California, it's not the same. But as Paul should be able to tell you, Champion's Pub in Peabody might be the best burger on the planet.
Very, very good burger.
Really?
Yeah.
What makes it good?
It's just I don't know. It's just I don't get them a lot. I don't get them a lot.
That's all you got?
They're steak tips. They're marinated.
Marinated burger? What makes the burger good?
It's just a good burger. I don't know. What makes it good? I mean, I don't know.
Good
It's
bun,
good
beef. Comes together nice.
It's lean,
No chewy
like
parts.
not too lean. You don't want that like.
No, you need a little fat
You need the good. You need the good percentage. Like 90-10,
Yeah, yeah.
85-15.
Yeah.
You can't. You don't want the 95-5.
I like going 40%.
40% fat.
Sure, let's go. Get that flavor in there.
Put some lard in there.
Maybe 80-20. Maybe 80-20.
Yeah, okay. Second, you need to get a picture of Vrabel on the wall. And finally, with the Cowboys in cap hell next year, do you think the Patriots should make a run at Pickens?
I do not think that will happen. But
Yeah.
he's going to cost a lot of money, and he's a handful.
Yeah.
That's one of the ones that Mike has been on for a while. Now, I would still like the Patriots now, I would say no. Because I think this whole thing that they've put together, chemistry-wise, is working.
Right.
And I wouldn't risk it.
Right.
But I would have, I used to disagree with Mike in terms of the talent. I would have, the Patriots needed a number one receiver. Look what he's done.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's tremendously talented.
Yep.
He's showing you what he could have been doing in Pittsburgh if he had someone to throw him the ball.
Is Dak Prescott a dark horse for MVP?
If they make a run and get in the playoffs, he absolutely will be on the fringes of that.
Yeah.
A lot of people think he's had a great year and he's carried that team.
Yep.
Yeah.
Zach and Cincy, cannot be stated enough the impact Doug Marrone has had on this offensive line. He has the team prepared every single week, and it seems like they're improving with every game. Even players who everyone wrote off look adequate under his coaching. Vrabel and the entire coaching staff deserve their flowers. I try to give them every time I bring
No one
this
gives
up.
more flowers than Fred.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're seeing the difference that good coaching can make.
Just like to see a little more movement in the run game from the offensive line group.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay, I don't know if this is a straw man argument, but Andre writes in, I keep hearing people question the Patriots' opponents this season, suggesting our record is a product of weak teams, but let's take a look at the facts. First, many of the teams we've beaten are competitive right now, and their losses have come against strong opponents. Second, if you compare where the Patriots were last year to where we are today, the improvement is undeniable. You don't win 11 games by accident, and you certainly don't win 11 games against nothing but weak teams. That's just not how the NFL works. Third, everyone keeps talking about the so-called big teams, yet here we are sitting in the first seed. Facts are facts. If we weren't strong, we wouldn't be in this position. It's time to stop downplaying this team and hiding behind the narrative of weak opponents. The Patriots squad is good, very good, and we have the roster to beat anyone. Let's start giving this team the credit they've earned. Hear, hear.
Huzzah.
Andre.
Fred's doing it. He's consistent. Fred says the same about Chicago. I don't. I think schedules are extremely important in the NFL. I think that there's a reason why a lot of the so-called powers are really struggling, and because they all kind of hit a really, really tough schedule in the same year.
Yep.
Kansas City, Detroit, the NFC North schedules, like that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
I mean, I'd say on Buffalo, I feel like they just have no ability to push the ball down the field. So, I mean, I think it's not just
13 opponents. 9 out of your 13 opponents have fewer than 6 wins. I mean, it is what it is. 6 out of your 13 have 3 wins or less.
But how much does that actually matter? Like
It in the grand scheme of things, 0.
No, but I mean,
because your record is good. You're
Evan's
11-2.
Hi.
Who cares how you got beat?
Well, no,
11-2?
because I don't know if I'm like as gung ho as the emailer was a little bit, but
I just think it's an enormous difference. You don't think that Kansas City would be better than 6-6 with that schedule?
But I don't think it's too relevant to where we're going this season.
No, it's completely irrelevant.
Right.
It's been proven that the teams with the easiest schedules make the deepest playoff runs.
So then what's the point in bringing it up all the time?
Because he's suggesting that's got nothing to do with the schedule.
Oh, I mean, I don't know if it has nothing to do with the schedule.
That's all.
But I look,
now all you have to do is beat 1 or 2 good teams and you win the Super Bowl.
Right.
As opposed to having to go through 8 or 10 good teams to get to the Super Bowl. I'll take the 2.
Right.
This is why I always say, like,
point.
I would rather, I'd rather avoid the monsters.
Yeah.
Fred used to put the big ones on the table. I don't care who he plays.
Well, right. But let me ask you a
I'm
question,
no hero.
Paul.
Give me the easiest road.
But
I'll take it. You want to give me Chicago in the Super Bowl, like Fred says? Absolutely. They're by far the weakest of the possible NFC Super Bowl contenders.
But are
by
you
far?
Are you saying that Kansas City, Baltimore, and Buffalo business as usual? They just run into a bad schedule this year?
Kansas City, yes, and Evan will have numbers to kind of prove that.
The analytics have been saying that Kansas City is underachieving relative to how well they're playing all year, but I just there's a difference between
But they know what they need.
What Paul is saying, which is the Patriots have cleaned up on some easy teams to get to 11 wins, which is just a fact. But
doesn't mean they're not a good team.
But that also does. I think where the point that a lot of fans are at with it is that it's irrelevant. Like
they're sensy.
But no, it's literally it's irrelevant though, Paul. Once we get to January,
it's irrelevant for the 2025 season.
Okay,
it's not going to stop them from getting where we want to go. I totally agree with you.
Like
but it is relevant. Like it is part of the equation.
I guess so. I just
like if you
when we start talking about like who's going to come out of the AFC, and we start really having this conversation about
the Patriots in Denver have benefited from soft schedules.
Okay,
it's
but once we get
undeniable.
to the playoffs. Like, so you're saying now that once we get to the playoffs, it's going to be fool's gold and one of those two teams is going to lose?
That's not what I said. I think the Patriots are a good team.
So then what difference does it make? Like, why
bring it up if you don't think it's going to be relevant in the playoffs?
Do you think it makes a difference to get the number 1 seed?
Sure.
Well, you get the number 1 seed by having the best record.
Right.
So there's relevance to that.
Yeah.
That does matter.
But
you play one less game and you're at home in the next one.
Right. But if you also think you're going to be one of the best teams in the playoffs, then I can see what Evan's saying too. Yeah.
All I'm saying is that if we come back and look at this in 6 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever it is, and the Patriots end up losing earlier in the playoffs than we all want them to, then the Cam Newton fool's gold thing is going to come up. But I don't necessarily know if like the fact that they're cleaning up against teams like the Giants in the grand scheme of things of getting into a deep postseason run, I'm just not seeing how it's relevant.
I'll tell you what was 21 was fool's gold.
Yeah.
Remember?
I can't tell you if it's relevant because I said this last time. I can't see the future. I don't know what's going to happen. So I can't tell you if it's relevant.
Yeah.
Like you can say that they have 11 wins partially because of their schedule, but all I'm saying is that I don't know if that necessarily is going to matter. Like because what I'm getting at is
people
like,
bring it up to say you're not as good as you think you are.
Okay, well I'm saying
that's
that
the other side of it. But the Patriots fans say that that's wrong.
No, it's not about that.
It's a sensitivity.
It's not
factor.
a I know Michael Felger.
Well,
it's not a sensitivity.
But it's annoying.
This is not a Michael Felger. Thank you.
It's annoying.
Thank you for admitting it.
It's not that it's annoying.
It's annoying. It's annoying when people bring it up just to knock you down.
You haven't made an actual case for why it matters. Like if you want to tell the whole story of the team,
because the games haven't been played, I don't know what will happen if they play good teams. I don't know because I haven't seen it.
Okay, but
they played one good team.
But my point is that if you want to talk about it in the context of the season of how did we get here, it is a relevant talking point. If you want to talk about it as in the Patriots are going to lose in the playoffs because they played bad teams
but I can't,
in the regular
How
season.
can I do that?
Well, I also just don't think that's backed up by history.
But that's what I'm saying. I can't do that.
But I'm telling you that things that have already
on something I haven't seen.
Okay, but I'm telling you things that have already happened in the past in the history of the league would tell you that a lot of teams that beat up on bad schedules go on deep playoff runs. The Eagles last year did not have a particularly hard schedule, and they went on a deep playoff run and won the whole thing. So, like, I just, like, if you told the...
So do you think Washington was really good, or do you think it was a little bit of kind of flukiness to it?
Yeah, I think there
They
was
had a lot of last-second wins.
There might have been.
That's like the haters. I'm not.
But they went to the NFC Championship game. So
I understand.
But I think,
and I think the Patriots could do the same thing.
But I think the crowd,
easily.
I think the crowd, Paul, that you don't like, what they are saying is, why are you keep bringing this up? Why are you doing?
And I think you had the perfect answer.
Right. To annoy
It's
me.
annoying.
To annoy.
Like you're annoyed. By
I'm annoyed, but that's why Patriots fans get their dander up when people keep bringing up. It's like, why are you doing it? What's the point?
Yeah. I mean, Evan,
are you just say you don't think we're that good? Just
Evan,
say it.
See, I'm not saying that. And Evan keeps asking me, what's the relevance? I have no idea because it hasn't played out. If the Patriots win the Super Bowl, it had no relevance. But if the Patriots lose to the first good team that they play in the playoffs, it had relevance. I don't know what's going to happen.
We just have so many examples of this happening, though, in the NFL, where teams beat up on bad schedules, and they still are good teams that still go on deep playoff runs.
Sometimes,
if it was always like,
I know people,
you beat up on a bad schedule, then you get to the playoffs and you play Buffalo,
even
and you
when
get
the Patriots are in the height of their dynasty, the haters would say, "Oh, you have the AFC East, and you beat up on them every year." Meanwhile, the AFC East teams had very good out of division records.
The AFC East stunk,
No,
but
we're
that's
not doing
that's
that.
Not the
I
point.
just don't. I'm with Paul on that. But I just
that's a bridge too far for him.
The AFC West that brings 3 playoff teams. I mean, I don't know. Miami made the playoffs once in 10 years. They had a tough division.
It's just like
because the Patriots forced them into bad decisions.
You're right. The Patriots have had an easy schedule. They're like, okay, thank you. Tell me why it matters. Tell me why they're not the best team in the conference.
Because I don't have anything to base
come
it
on, Paul. You know what I'm saying. Tell me why it matters. Tell me why is that going to matter in the playoffs?
Do you think the best team wins the Super Bowl every year?
Not every year.
I'm going to be up front, and I'm going to tell you a lot of times the best team doesn't win.
Okay.
And
well, they probably had an easy schedule, so they got there.
Exactly. So I'm not telling you that it can't. So I'm not telling you that it has relevance. I keep answering the same way. I don't know if there's any relevance to it. I don't know.
Okay, but so if
I don't have the facts, the games haven't been
keep
played.
on bringing up something that you can't back up, and then you say,
I'm not bringing anything up.
But this is what your brethren does. You keep on bringing
so
things.
now I'm blamed for my brethren.
Well, you're the one. You're talking. That's
hate bros.
That's the case that you're making.
I just
and
don't
so then
understand
you keep bringing
why
it up.
someone that says that they haven't really been tested has to get mocked.
I think they've been tested.
No, because my point is, Paul, is that you bring this stuff up, and then Patriots fans get sensitive about it, and then you're you're sensitive, like cool, good job.
So that's you're going directly at Felger with that. I don't care about that
because he does it all the time.
He does it,
and it's like
it's a circular
cool
argument.
Dude,
yeah.
Like how are the Packers doing?
I think there's championships that are won in all sports almost every year that. Fortune plays a huge role in when you see a team, how you get a team, who you miss, a matchup that maybe you needed to avoid. And yes, a schedule giving you a seed that maybe you're not quite as talented to have achieved, but you achieved it, and that made your road that much easier. There's a lot of different ways that this can happen. I just don't know how it's going to play out.
Well, it's a very convenient thing to say when you bring it up all the time and then just say, but I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go. It's just convenient. It's convenient to just have that cop-out.
What's convenient? What am I saying?
And I'm not saying you necessarily, but like this whole the whole case.
But you keep saying that I'm not.
Because the whole thing is like it's easy to say that. Like, okay, I don't have a crystal ball. Okay, so then why do you keep bringing it up? Why do you keep bringing it up? Because the last couple of weeks,
I'm not bringing
the Patriots have played on a Thursday and a Monday night. I've been able to watch a lot of games across the league the last couple of weeks.
You started by saying this might be a bit of a straw man.
Right.
With the email.
Right.
I didn't bring it up.
I love it. Andrew writes in, he's in Maine. Yes, we have a soft schedule. this year, but in capitals.
Whip-de-doo.
We are also
We should
playing
hang a
lights out
banner for
consistently
that.
on offense, defense, special teams. Both can be true at the same time. We're about to triple our win total from last year, and the team chemistry is through the roof.
Then why are so many of the games so close?
Kudos all around, because that's the NFL. Kudos all around.
That's a good answer.
Even if we get knocked out early in the playoffs, we have momentum on our side again, and the team is fun to watch. As for the hits on Dart last night, old school ball is back, baby. Dart was warned to slide or go out, and he chose not to. He took the hit and didn't complain about it, to my knowledge. I don't want anybody to get hurt unnecessarily, but this is football, for God's sake.
No one had any problem with the hit on Dart.
Love to see the refs
That's
not
the
flag
ultimate
it.
straw man.
I don't know.
Well, the tight end from the Giants had a little problem.
No, but that's different.
Well, you do that. You have to
He's just
stand. You have
protecting
to
his
stick
team.
up
Come
for
on,
your
dudes. No, but the tight end protecting his quarterback out of bounds, that's a different thing. But the fans weren't up in arms about the hit that Ellis put on Dart.
I can't wait for next year when the hard schedule and we can just be like, they got a hard schedule. What are we supposed to do?
Yeah, yeah.
We were talking.
I don't know how it's gonna go, so let's not go there just yet.
All right, couple calls.
Now you're being disingenuous.
Couple calls.
Yeah, it's easy. I should.
Boston Cream's been holding on. What's up, Boston Cream?
Hey, guys, we have to get rid of the all we got, all we need. We stole that from the Seahawks and the Pete Carroll and the Legion of Boom days.
Oh.
Well, other teams have used it as well, so I don't know. I think it really applies.
They like.
And second thing, Evan, totally disagree with you. It took Tim Tebow and Danny Cannell. Those are the quarterbacks we've beaten this century in Denver. If you think that is just happenstance.
Don't even get me started on the Broncos, who just
You're wrong, Evan. You're wrong, and you
Boston
know it.
Cream. They barely just beat Marcus Mariota. In overtime, he had a wide open receiver in the flat, and if he gets the ball 3 inches higher over Nick Bonino's head, they just got upset by the Commanders, who are 3-8 with their backup quarterback.
Preach.
And I'm supposed to be terrified of this team. I just saw Bo Nix throw an interception to old man Bobby Wagner, where the ball went right to him.
I have a question.
Put your PFF tablet down and look at the history.
Oh yeah, dude. Sick flex, dude. Sick.
Wow.
I don't watch any of the games, my man.
Good stuff.
Come
Good
on.
stuff.
You guys are getting me fired up today.
There we go. There we go. There we go.
I came in fired up because that's
I like
probably
it.
the main reason. But I'm so sick and tired of hearing
Bring the heat.
about the Broncos, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I think they're good.
You have a soft spot for the Broncos. So
No, I watch football.
So you thought that was a good performance on Sunday
Listen,
night?
even good teams have tough times against in certain games.
Think the Rams are any good?
Yeah, I think the Rams.
They lost to the Panthers.
Right.
Panthers.
Okay,
But I think the Panthers are
might
on
be
the come.
frisky.
Panthers, like,
They're not the Marcus Mariota Commanders.
yeah, they're pretty close.
No, they're not.
They're pretty close.
And by the
I
way,
have a question.
you make fun of that is the proper way to
Yeah, why
pronounce
is
his name.
yeah, why is that?
That's
I don't know.
That's the correct way to pronounce
Well,
his name.
Eric redefined it for me when he was like, it's Mariota. And now they're saying it's Mariota.
Mariota.
So they keep changing.
I'm trying to say it the right way.
But
Mariota.
so that every single word we should overpronounce the T.
That's how his name is pronounced.
Yeah, I understand that. That's how the T is pronounced, but we don't really say it like that.
I know, but I don't know. That's just the
I
way
just
it is.
find it weird that all of a sudden it's like
of a
year
sudden,
whatever
right.
it is 12
Right.
for the guy.
It's like Ronnie Lepet.
Everybody is like overpronouncing the T in Mariota.
Yeah.
And they're kind of mockingly doing it too.
No.
I feel like Tirico had it more like it was softer. It wasn't as
Yeah,
weird.
I agree.
Collinsworth was like, "What are we doing?"
In the pregame, I think they were.
We can
mocking
agree
him.
on this.
I'm absolutely with Evan on this. Evan came in really riled up today. I like it.
Like, for example, when you say, I say Hawaii, that's not correct.
Hawaii?
It's Hawaii.
Hawaii.
So, like, there's like
pronounce every-
there's actually
every
like
syllable.
An apostrophe
Yeah.
between the eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I just wish we get it from the get-go. You know, like, what's your name? Say it at the beginning.
What's
and
your
then
name?
you know,
What's your name?
But I think that anybody that has a T, you should say T,
Yeah.
not D. But no one does except for Mariota.
Mariota.
I don't know. Maybe his mother called all the networks and said, "You're not pronouncing my son's name right."
Yeah, I'll bet you it's something like that.
What was the Ronnie Lepet thing? That was, I mean, literally,
Right, it
like
was
for like
Lippett,
first
and-
3 seasons, he's Ronnie Lippett, and then he goes Ronnie
So, but
Lepet.
again, that's pronouncing his name differently. Every word that has a T in it, no one overpronounces the T like that. We're not asking to, like, it's not like everybody said it's Mariota. He really thinks it's Mariota.
Mario,
I don't
which
know.
is Eric's
He's just
thing,
saying you need to
Mariota.
accent the T. It's ta. Well, you know,
but if somebody says this is how you pronounce my name, you should respect that.
no, I agree. Just like if someone prefers to be called, you know, like Josh Dobbs and Joshua Dobbs. Like
Right.
he had said, I forget the differentiation now, but
When you write it,
when
it's
you write
Joshua.
it's Joshua.
That's
When you
Uche,
if you're
too.
just talking to him, it's Josh. You know, like I respect
Uche.
that. Like that's what Benjamin Watson preferred to be known as Benjamin.
All right, couple quick calls. We're up against it. Danny's in Daytona.
Right.
What's up, Danny?
Hey, what's going on, gang? How you guys doing today?
Hey, Dan.
Good.
Can you guys hear
Yeah,
me? I just wanted to say I didn't get to call in last night on pregame. It was pretty late.
Yeah, we missed you.
But it was a great game. I can say to Paul. Paul, I was surprised you didn't mention it, or Fred. The only thing I was disappointed. I love how the defense played, love how the offense played, and I loved how the special teams played. The only person on special teams that pissed me off he's been pissing me off since 2023 when Belichick drafted us. You guys can take a guess. Is the punter? That guy has been so wildly inconsistent. I know a lot of people are
He was on the bad list last night.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I don't know if you mentioned it, Paul. He was wildly inconsistent his first year in the league. Last year, I mean, yeah, it was a disaster team, so he was inconsistent too. And then this year, you'll see he has punts where he punts and it bombs it deep and it's perfect. And then he just shanks punts that are like 20, 30 yards.
Fred even criticized his plus 50 punt that was fair caught at the 14.
Right, I didn't like that.
We brought up that. We brought up Aaron
We gave you
last
more
night.
room to put it inside the 10, and you couldn't do it. All right,
I
thanks,
thought that was
Danny.
okay.
That's where we're at. With
Appreciate the
punter.
call. We'll wrap up with Manny in New Bedford. What's up, Manny?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
So I just wanted to dive into that running game, man. Nothing stresses me out more than watching us in third and short situations, knowing we're going to run the ball and we just can't seem to find a gap. What needs to change? I'm curious what you guys
Better
think,
blocking.
because I feel like last year when we watched third and long situations, you just kind of sighed and like, we're not getting that. Now I feel it's third and short. No one running the ball. Teams know we're running the ball, and we just can't seem to get 2 yards.
Yeah. We're just getting beat up front. That's plain and simple. Plain and simple.
They did some things yesterday that I think have some bones, you know, unbalanced lines.
Well, I heard David Andrews this morning, and like he said, aside from the goal-to-go runs, he said he thought the running game was really good last night.
I thought it started off pretty
It was
promising.
okay.
I thought Ramondre had some good,
I
you
don't
know,
about
like
really
good 6-yard runs. You know, I think he had a 9-yarder in there somewhere. I thought between the tackles and then obviously Trevion at the end of the game caught a.
Thanks, Manny.
Caught a big gap for a 26-yarder.
I think there's running Drake is still on the table, and they haven't done that yet. And I think that might be something that they're saving
holding out.
for late in the season.
What do you think about them just flashing that wildcat play to Ramondre?
Yeah, I didn't care for that.
F was not happy.
Didn't
And
care
then they
for
did
that.
it, and they scored a touchdown.
When you need to resort to things like the wildcat
But
to
what
get
about
yards
just
on the
putting
ground,
it out there? Like, okay, let's just try this. I don't think they were.
It's
I don't think they were
kinda-
resorting to it. Like there was
I
no
think
desperation.
I
there.
think they're kind of emptying the clip on how to get
All right.
some short yardage
All
runs.
right, we're going to be back tomorrow on Wednesday. Catch 22
tomorrow at 10.
Barth is going to make time for you.
Yes, I'm going to be just as fired up tomorrow.
Okay. All right. We'll see you tomorrow at noon. Thanks for watching today.
Hey, this is Alex. Thanks for tuning into the show. If you really want to help us, make sure you like us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Also, make sure you follow us on the New England Patriots YouTube channel to see this show and everything else we do here at the Patriots. Thanks a lot.